So you've sold over $3.7 million on Amazon merch, and you've never spent a single dollar on ads. How did you do this? This is unheard of.
Now, well, the funny part is, for me, it was unheard of to do it any other way. I did not understand the ad game at all. When people were doing ads, I thought that's just something for rich people, right? People who got money. I didn't think it was something normal people did. And so from day one, I remember when I learned about merch, it was all about tearing up. Because from the very first day, I said, if I have 100 designs, that's not going to make me rich. But if I had 100,000, it might give me some real money. So from day one, that's the only thing I cared about was tearing up. It was the only thing that mattered. I did not care about the money. So I was doing whatever I was doing for money at the time in the music industry. And then I was just, working on my account just to make sales, right? So everything was, I forgot back then, I think it was $11.99 was the lowest price. So everything was $11.99. Give me my sales, right? I remember when there was $7 royalties for a $20 t-shirt, right? So this is around that time. So $11.99 was even more people buying, right? That's even cheaper than $13.38. So in those days, whatever sale I got at that price. And then the other thing that affected me was, I live in a place where t-shirts are 3 for $10. So the idea of pricing a t-shirt above $5 was already crazy to me. So I didn't even feel comfortable charging a lot. I didn't understand the t-shirt game online. It was a new thing. But in the real world, you're not going to sell a $20 t-shirt in New York City. You know what I'm saying? So I immediately, just because of what I thought I knew, everything was low. And then when the sales came in, I said, oh, wow, this is selling a lot. Once I tier up, I'm going to put that price up. But I don't want to put the price up yet, because the tier ups, and when I get to 100,000, I remember that was always my goal. I said, when I get to 100,000, that's when I'm going to make real money. So I'm not going to plan on making any money right now. So, and then also I had, I didn't know what to do for t-shirt design. So I would just buy packs and upload them. So I had packs, and I could see 5 other people on Amazon, they got the same image. So what I'm going to do, raise the price on the image everybody's using? No, I just took it to say, these are tier up reasons. These are not for monetization. This is just to tier up. So everything is down, except for a few things, of course. You mess around, check things out. But for the most part, it wasn't a low price strategy. That's not what I was doing. I was trying to tier up. And so because of that, I was able to see things that most people won't be able to keep something to zero. But remember, I'm not doing a strategy. I'm just selling t-shirts to tier up. So what ends up happening is, when I see all those reviews, I'm just like, whoa, this is crazy. Let me see what happens when I put one up. And when I put one up, ching, ching, all day. I said, ooh, this is crazy. And then everyone online is complaining about sales and ads. And I'm just like, this is cha-ching all day. I don't know the struggle, right? Because I never had a struggle. I never said, I can't make any sales. I didn't care. I just wanted the sale, not the money. So it didn't really bother me. I didn't have the anxiety of what's going to happen. Oh, why am I not selling anything? I didn't really have that. I was making money doing music, and then I was hoping this would work. And then it kind of just started happening. And when it started happening, and those BSRs started coming in, and I started putting, obviously before Christmas. So the first time I put them all up before Christmas, and I had a good Christmas, I said, whoa, I like this. And I didn't know anything. So I wasn't, back then there wasn't a lot of YouTubers like that. So there wasn't a lot of people talking about strategies. So I didn't have anything to compare to.
So to summarize, basically, one of the reasons that you've become this successful is because from very early on, you just didn't really care about profit. You priced as low as possible to tier up as quickly as possible. Now, just to clarify for people, you have made money on Amazon, right? What's your royalties that you've taken out of that revenue, roughly?
Yeah, I think I'm at like $500,000, getting closer to 600,000, I think now.
And that's all profit because no ads, right? Yeah.
All profit, no ads, just pure royalties right in my account. Whatever Amazon says, that's what comes into my account.
Yeah.
So, and
that's nuts. That's crazy.
Cool.
And but at the very beginning, was it like the first few years you didn't really make any money? Like, how did that look like?
Yeah.
Selling?
No, I made a small amount, but I don't know what the normal thing was in the first year, but I did make some money, and I don't remember. It's so long ago now that I don't remember if I was using a strategy or why some stuff was priced up and some wasn't. I think what happened was everything that people already had was at zero, but then I tried to design some stuff, and that would be like a $16.99. But even back then, I was scared to use $19.99. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but I just didn't feel comfortable pricing it $20. Just didn't. And remember, back then royalties were bigger anyway, so It just literally was on accident. It was a complete accident that it turned out to be a great thing.
So when did you actually get started then? It must have been really early on, like 2016 or something? Or
27 June 2nd, 2017. I'll never forget the day.
17.
Never forget. I jumped in the air. I got the email from Amazon. I remember, I think I was at my mother's house. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? She's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I just got accepted. She's like, for what? I said, Amazon. She's like, you already sell on Amazon. It's like, never mind. I went home and just started designing. Not really designing, but opening Photoshop and doing something I call designing. But it was, it was what it was. And I just knew, okay, I got to learn Photoshop or figure something out, and I just started buying those image packs.
So two questions there. One, did you have to apply multiple times to get in, or was it first try?
First try.
First try.
And I think it was about 2 weeks, something like that.
2 weeks wait. Okay. I'm guessing you probably don't remember what was in the application, because people usually ask that.
No, at the time, I think I did say I was, because I had my own t-shirt shop, actually. So it wasn't my first time doing t-shirts. I used to run my own machine, and I had a full custom t-shirt shop. And
physical or on Amazon?
No, physical. I actually sold on, not a lot, but I actually did sell on Amazon before Merch by Amazon, right? They had this thing called FBM where you can put your listings and then from your house to the customer. So I did that, and I used to do custom t-shirts like that. But it wasn't a whole bunch that I sold that way, so I was already on Amazon though. So I knew Amazon a little bit before that. I understood the Amazon game as far as how Amazon works. And I think that also kind of helped me a lot, because Amazon cares about low prices. They have this thing called a buy box in FBA. And if you put the price too high, they'll actually email you and suppress the listing, says you can't do this. This is higher than what we want it to be. And I think they're not allowed to do that anymore, or something happened. They do a lot of these things. So that was my mentality. Amazon likes low prices. That's what I did.
So you started in the middle of 2017, and for the people, because I think a lot of people when they start out, it's tough to be patient and wait for tier ups or keep things priced low. I'm just curious, how long do you think it took you, if you remember, to really see like some return from the work you put into Amazon? Like, was it in the same year? Did it take a couple of years?
3 years. 3 years before I was happy. 3 years before I said, oh, this is going to work. I was very nervous about it for the first 2 years, because I think everyone goes through this. You're like, how are they doing this? How are these people getting these sales? Like, I went through that. That's why when people go through it, I'm like, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Just give it time and keep going. And I remember it just felt so impossible. And, I used to kind of say bad things, but I kind of do appreciate people who show their dashboard online. It affects people differently. But for me, I just said, man, how is it that all these people are better than me? And I couldn't accept that, because it was different people. One would be a middle-aged guy, another would be a young lady. I'm like, okay, these people have nothing in common other than they figured it out. So if they could figure it out, I could figure it out. There's something about that belief. It really works. Like when you believe, oh, I can do this, I think it does shift how hard you try. If you believe, oh, I can't do it, it just kind of, that's what you become, a person who can't do it, if that's the energy you bring. So there was something in my head that switched. And I think I don't know if I mentioned this, but I actually locked myself in the house for 5 months and said, I'm not going to stop until this becomes my career. I'm going to sit in here and I'm going to upload and I'm going to keep doing this, and I will not quit till it works for me. So it was drastic as well. Some people have full-time jobs. They can't really do that. I used to make money, and I was always a freelancer. So I always made money. I never really had a 9-to-5 in my life, a couple times, but for the most part, I'd make money, then figure out how to budget that money. So I had enough to where I could just lock myself in the house for 5 months. That 5 months, I think, was what changed my life, really. Like, just to dedicate myself to something and say, I'm not going to stop till I win. That's what I did. And I hated every minute of it. I was stressed out. Oh, I want to go out. I want to call somebody. No. You're here for a reason. Upload. Keyword. And that's what I did. And then after 5 months, sales started coming in slowly. And it wasn't till this day. I'll probably, no, I can't show you right now, but I'll collect, see how many t-shirts from that 5 months still sell now, right? To this day. And a lot of them, some are falling off, but it's just every time I see those shirts, I remember how I started, doing something drastic. And if you want it bad enough and you decide, now I know it takes time, but if you could find the time, instead of going to the movies, lock yourself in a room and just upload for 3 hours, and I know it's, some people say, oh, don't just upload anything. And I'm not saying you should, but the practice of it, I think you should do. Maybe delete it after, I don't know, but upload and get used to that process to the point where it feels like second nature. Keyword, so you get used to that process to the point where it feels like second nature, right? And that's why I did with the templates. I just edit. It's second nature. Everything that I do, I had to stop and really focus on it so that it stopped. Because a lot of times we don't do things because it's tedious. Oh, I don't feel like doing this part. But if you start doing what you hate and then you just make it so normal and you don't think about it anymore. And that was kind of the thing that I knew I had to do. Because I hated keyword listing. It was I would design, I could research, it's fun. But when it came to that listing, I hated it so much. And then I forced myself every day. I'm going to do another one. Okay, I did 3. I need a cup of coffee. Because
I still don't like it.
Yeah.
And I've made like 40, 50,000 listings to this point.
And those all the pain you went through. All that
but
pain.
I like the message of, I think, and I agree with this, it's better to put in the reps even if the designs aren't great or the listings aren't great, rather than procrastinate and try and figure out everything up front, try and perfect everything and not put in any reps. And exactly. it fits that car analogy that we talked about before we started recording. It's like you can learn the theory of how to drive a car, how to use a steering wheel, how to change gears, use the pedals. You can learn the rules of the road. What do these signs do? How does an intersection work? But until you actually drive, you're not going to get better, and you will suck in your first few weeks, months, if not your first couple of years of driving. You will suck until you've put in the reps, and then you become good. No matter how much upfront, like theory, you learn.
It's like, no, you can't read about push-ups, right? Like imagine a whole book about push-ups. This is how to do the perfect push-up. Just do the push-up. You know what I mean? I think it's that, you heard the pottery parable where, I don't think it's a real story. I think it's just like one of those Buddhist stories or something like that, where there's a pottery teacher and he has a class. He splits the class in half and they got an hour. He tells one half of the class, make as many pieces of pottery as you can, and I'm gonna judge you on how many you made. The other half, he says, you're just gonna make one piece of pottery and I'm gonna judge you on how beautiful it is. And at the end of the hour, the teacher finds that the ones who did a whole bunch had the better looking pottery. Right? Instead of the people who spent all that time on one, not knowing where their mistakes are. So that you spend all this time making something perfect and you're only going to learn one lesson. While the people who are using speed and doing things all day, every day, they've learned 100 lessons. And to me, that's always, I'm never going to be this perfect person I want to be. I'm never going to be, everything I dream of being. But if I just do it anyway, I can get somewhere. Forget if it's perfect. I saw someone say embarrassment is the price of entry. Like, if you're ever in somewhere and you're scared to ask a question, like everyone knows stuff, you don't, go through that embarrassing moment. And that's how you get where you want to go. Instead of overthinking it and saying, oh man, I got to get good at this, just go, just do it. And that's kind of been my life theory. I've made so many mistakes and it made me who I am. So when it came to this POD things, like, people are like, well, you're going to lose money doing that. Maybe. Okay, but I'm learning. People spend how much money on college tuitions to learn? You can't spend a few royalty misses, you can't, and that whole, I don't work for free is something that I've never been like. I will work for knowledge. I will work for achievement. It doesn't have to be money every time, because the money's going to come. I believe in investing in yourself as a person.
You're leveling up. It's like a video game, right?
Exactly.
Maybe not monetary rewards, but you're getting better as a result of it. And you
money's
can
not everything.
Elsewhere. I love that message and definitely agree with it. Like, I consider myself very average at most things, PewDie. Like, I'm an average designer. I'm average at keywording. I don't think I'm like an expert at anything specifically. Same with going to the gym. Like, I go to the gym regularly, have been for 3 years. I'm sure I do a lot of things wrong. My form isn't perfect, but through just doing it like consistently, eventually it's going to work a little bit, right? Like, you're avoiding failure by doing it too much.
Yes.
Right, in a sense. Obviously you still want to improve meanwhile and not just do garbage and random stuff, whatever you do. But putting in the reps is important. So one thing I'm curious about is, we've had a lot of changes and updates on Merge recently, and I think two things people are mainly talking about is the tier system has changed, and also there has been less tier ups. Like, people have had enough sales, they've got their slots filled out, but they're not getting tiered up. And also there's been a lot of locked items, so you can't change the prices. People are frustrated with that. What are your thoughts on that?
I think everything has a solution, and everything can even an advantage, right? Now people have to kind of police their own accounts. That could be a real advantage in disguise, right? Because one thing I learned when you get to the 100 tier, I wanted it so bad. The first thing I learned, you don't need it. That's one of the biggest things I learned. You do not need the 100 tier. If you're worried about getting all the way to tier, I think that can actually be hurting your progress. The idea that the tier is what you need. So once you get used to the idea that, okay, well, how can a lower tier, how can you do what you want to do? Well, by deleting your own designs, first of all. That's not the worst idea in the world to do anyway. Like, why wait for Amazon to decide the limit? If you want to be aggressive on making these sales, deleting your own stuff is actually a great idea. Oh, this isn't working, get rid of this. Why do you even want it there? Right? If it hasn't sold, like, to me, I think 8 months is my limit. So with all these tier downs, the tier 10s, first of all, that's frustrating. I got nothing for you. If you're on tier 10, today, tier 10 is not the old tier 10. The old tier 10, you could get out. The old tier 10, you just buy 10 shirts. Done. You solved your problem. Today's tier 10, I sympathize. It's damn near impossible. And I hate that. I hate that I can't tell somebody, here's how you get out of it. I could tell you how to make 10 sales, but clearly 10 sales is not good enough anymore. We don't even know what the metric is. So for the 10 tier people, my heart bleeds. I wish. It sucks. It's not fair. I'm be honest. It is not fair for the tier 10 people right now. So you're in an unfair position. But I will say stick with it. All right. So there's actually a lot to unpack with that question. And I'm trying to organize my thoughts because I also feel that with the tier system now, it's damn it. I lost my thought there.
I'll help you out. I think we've talked about this before, so I think I know what you're getting at. A lot of people see the tier system change in a mechanism for quality control, because what Amazon is saying is it's important that you have a high percentage of your designs or a high percentage of your products selling. And most people have the consensus based on that, okay, they want us to delete our crap designs and upload really good quality designs that are more likely going to sell. And I think you slightly disagree with that.
Well, first of all, Amazon doesn't know what a quality design is, right? Well, I think some people got confused. If you look into the actual merch, TOS and all that, when Amazon uses the word quality, and they say it in there, what they're talking about, it's not blurry. There's no misspelled words. It's the right size, it's upscaled, and you don't have little speckles of the background remover that got messed up. That's what Amazon considers quality, right? So what Amazon is doing more than anything, they just want you to try harder on what sells. Amazon doesn't know what sells, right? The idea that you're supposed to know when something sells, oh, this is gonna sell. No way, that's impossible. Get that out of your head. You don't know what's going to sell. You can have a good idea. You can have confidence. But the idea that's like, oh, don't upload these because these aren't going to sell, then why would you upload them anyway? Before this, why would you upload something that's not going to sell? So I don't really understand the upload quality thing, but I do understand the police your own account thing. And another thing that I think is a positive about that, learn how to police your own account now, because you know what's going to come? A lot of people don't remember back when it was just one t-shirt, then a premium. Then they switched it to all these other products. Everybody started making more money. Everybody. Because they added these products. So if Amazon's doing this shift, it's because they want to grow. Get ready for more products. I don't know when, but it's coming. And the sooner you get used to this tier system, like, don't look at it as a negative thing. Police it. Do your best on these uploads. Don't get nervous. Oh, well, I'm not going to upload garbage. Like, I don't know why you would. And I think people just need to focus on doing their best and not overthinking it. When you run out of slots, delete what didn't sell. Keep uploading things. I personally haven't changed anything. I haven't changed anything other than just don't panic and understand that there's a plan. If Amazon wants to grow this, and if you think they're going to keep you on that low tier forever, I highly doubt it. Everything is in stages. Amazon made a change. Now they're going to do what they got to do. They're in the middle of deleting 25 billion products right now. I forgot, it's called Operation something. They went from 75 billion to 50 billion. This is happening as we speak. So Amazon is making changes as a website. They're not mad at you as a merchant, all right? They're not rejecting you and saying, stop doing AI. They're not doing that. And another thing that I wish people would know is whatever Amazon does do, they don't need your help, okay? They're a very powerful company. They're very capable of dealing with the listings and how the research results are going to show. All they need from you is to police your own sales and make sure, okay, you want to make more sales, you need more space, delete it. That's all they're asking. But as far as knowing what a good design is, Amazon doesn't know that. Okay, you can make, I think I told you this before. What about those stick figures designs that sell millions? Is that quality? You
No.
know, right? I've showed you before designs that I make from, old Indian tribal images. It looks like a kid drew it, right? Sells a lot. If Amazon, who's going to look at that and say, that's not quality? You don't even know what it means. You don't know what any of these t-shirts mean. So you're going to tell, you are going to police me on what's nice and what's not? No, you're not.
I think quality can be seen as many different things, right? It could mean a very pretty design that has a professional graphic designer behind it. It could mean a design that's well researched and that actually hits the target audience and that people want to buy, whether it looks, basic like a kid's drawn it or whether it's very fancy. Like, I think that is the key thing, is like design stuff that people want to buy, no matter if it looks bad or unprofessional. That's what Amazon wants after all, shirts to sell, no matter if they look ugly or not.
Exactly.
But
Sales.
I think an important point that you've also made before is if they're making these changes, that means that they want to grow, like they want to improve the platform, and it doesn't always look that way. And I think this has always been the case. You can probably go back to 2017, 2018 and find examples of changes that they made that people didn't agree with. But Amazon's goal is to grow and take up more market share. And this is one move that they're doing for this. Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted world domination. Like anyone, if you study Amazon as a company, and any company, basically, I mean, you could talk about Netflix, Microsoft, Apple, they all have one goal. As a corporation, once you got shareholders, there's only one goal. That's to make more money next year than you made this year, period. This is the one goal of every corporation. Merch by Amazon is about 10 years old now. And the idea that they're not, like if you just look at Amazon, period, it's always has to grow. They have taken out so many other companies. The things that they do to reach broader audiences, they do anything. They'll break the law just to reach a broader audience. So they are relentless in what they want to do. And for that reason, you got to understand, Merch by Amazon is no different. You're under the Amazon umbrella. This is not just something you signed up for, you upload some designs. You are on the biggest e-commerce store on the planet that makes more millionaires than any other store that existed. You are side by side with millionaires. You are side by side with corporate giants when you sell on Amazon. Okay? Nike's t-shirt can be right next to yours. That's something you got to think about. This is not child's play. Amazon knows what they're doing. It's funny when people are like, oh, Amazon has no clue what they're doing. No, Amazon has no clue what they're doing with you as an individual because they don't micromanage. So they send us these emails that you're like, oh, Amazon's stupid. No, they're not. They're way smarter than you could even understand intelligence can go. And they have all the data in the world. So what they're doing now with a program that has obviously been successful, that is obviously bringing in billions of dollars, they need to grow it. And in order to grow it, they have to contain it. So all these changes are for containment so that they can now grow in an organized way without chaos. And you've seen it, I know I've seen it with those job postings where they talk about the future, and Amazon said, we are just getting started. And they want to be able, and I seen one years ago on Facebook where they said their plans for the future was to be able to print on any object that can be printed on and deliver it to the customer within 1 hour of ordering it anywhere on the planet Earth. This was their statement.
It's crazy.
This is Merch by Amazon, Amazon Merch, whatever they call it now.
Yeah.
That is their goal. And if you think getting out now is a smart thing, you're going to be kicking yourself real hard when you see how much bigger this program is going to be. All right, people are going to walk around with boots that you design. They're going to walk around with sundresses that you design, some shades on their face with some little designs that you put on there, that pattern. It's going to go way beyond what it is now. And they're going to try to get there fast. So when they do these changes, when they do these tear downs, that just means they're on their way to get bigger. And don't worry, because your opportunity will also get bigger. They're going to, we see what, 20, how many designs, objects, products we got now? That's going to grow.
17.
So many.
We've got 17.
But what I think is going to happen, they don't want our input. It got so big that they don't want us involved in too much. They want our designs, but they don't necessarily want our techniques on how to, sell. So they want to control the selling. And that's what they might do. But if they're gonna add 20 more products, low prices all day, if that's what works, and now I got 20 extra products to sell, you're gonna be very happy about that.
The good point, actually, because I was at first, when we got the tumblers, which is what, like just 7-8 months ago now, I was really bummed out that, hey man, the max royalty is what, 320? Like, it's not really huge. I thought, well, probably not going to make a big difference. But Tumblr is now my second best-selling product for 2025, and it does make a difference to my royalties. It's not near to t-shirts, but it makes a difference, and that's just Tumblrs. If you think about Amazon, like they're technically, or Amazon merch, how much additional business would they get adding something like coffee mugs, which are already selling on Amazon through FBM, right? What you described, but they can't deliver as quickly, right? So if they offer that through Amazon merch, it'd be a huge improvement for the customer, which is the end goal for Amazon. It means more money. So just a product like coffee mugs could make a huge change. And there's so many options. There's posters, there's stickers, there is, help me out, there's like a million different things on other platforms that are selling really well.
The hats, they're already selling hats, right? You saw Amazon, there's embroidered hats that say Amazon merch on them. So Amazon's got stuff they're not even telling us about in this program, and that could be a test for all we know. You don't ever know what Amazon's up to, but it's only going to be good things for us, right? So I don't know what just pay attention to what other products you start seeing that Amazon merch thing on, because that's the future, and it's our future. It's going to be a beautiful thing when they add all these things, man. And it's going to, but I don't think the only thing I think they're going to just not involve us. They're going to be like, your stuff is going to be uploaded to other products now. And then, so like right now, the crop tops, I'm like, what? I sold a crop top? When did I do that? You know, like even the mock-up looks weird. I'm like, oh, okay. I remember I thought someone stole my design when I saw crop tops. I was about to report it for infringement. Someone took, oh, that's mine. It's a crop top. I didn't know that, you know, so. But yeah, it's only going to like, if anyone thinks they shouldn't get into merch or should stop trying, you will regret that.
And also to give the people a bit of hope, because we've said, you know, tiering up has been harder. Tier 10 is very tough. I am still seeing tier ups. Like occasionally I see people getting tiered up in the school or in the POD Discord server. I don't know if you see people on Facebook. It's more rare, don't get me wrong, but it's not impossible. I think some people have given up hope and say, like, I'm going to be stuck in this tier forever. We just sadly don't know how long it's going to take or what the exact requirements are. But which tier are you in right now?
120K.
Have you been tiered down at all?
No.
That's
and
weird, because a lot of big accounts were tiered down.
Here's what happened, and I think I would have gotten tiered down, but what I ended up doing, so I went out on a limb. And when I saw people getting tiered down that had similar uploads as me, like I had like 40-something thousand. And I kept seeing someone that was almost just like me. So every day I was waking up with anxiety. Like, is today the day I get tiered down? Is today the day? So when I didn't get tiered down, I'm like, I got a feeling that I'm close to whatever the metrics they're using. I'm this close to it. And if I keep uploading, then I'm like, oh, you just hit the whatever that is, tear you down. So I went out on a limb and I said, if I can have 40,000 uploads and they don't tear me down, then if I had 20,000 uploads, they definitely not going to tear me down until I get to at least 40. So I took that logic and just deleted a whole bunch of designs that weren't selling. And so now I'm uploading like crazy again, and I feel comfortable. If they didn't tear me down at 40,000 uploads, they're not going to tear me down at 20. You know what I mean? So it worked. And I think that I don't believe that I'm going to get tiered down now. I just like that freedom. And I mean, even if I did, I would police my account. But it does feel good to not have to care. Every day I wake up, I use Flying Upload. I get the designs. Like right now as we speak, I got designs uploading right here. Right? So every day I'm uploading 70 designs a day. And it is helpful. You know what I mean? It's my style. But yeah.
Let me play devil's advocate then. Since Amazon seems to be taking more and more control away from us regarding our listings, and you have the theory, right, they just want us for the design, why don't they just replace us with AI then?
Because AI doesn't know how to listen to a Trump speech and figure out what's going to go viral the next day, right? When Trump would talk, I would be with Photoshop open. That was me. Oh, Trump is talking at 8 p.m. tonight. Photoshop's open, couple templates are ready. I had my create page on Amazon open. That's how I used to watch Trump. And I'm like, ooh, that one. And I didn't know. Sometimes I would do ones that didn't take off. Sometimes I would do ones that did, right? And then any other event that happens in the world, you need human input. Like, I think AI is amazing. I'm not one of these people that think Terminator is coming. I don't believe that. I think if Terminator is coming, that's because people are deciding for Terminator to come. Human beings are. Right. So until that happens, I think we got a long way to go for that. I think that AI is the most beautiful thing in the world. And I think that Amazon could attempt, and I think they will test not using us. And I think during those testing, they're going to see why they need us. Right. And they can't just have some of us, because they never know who knows that thing. All the money made on Amazon, that stuff is because of us. Right. Even regular T-shirts are FBA members. Amazon, Merch by Amazon is their only novelty T-shirt line, I believe, right? So everything, all the money Amazon makes when it comes to T-shirts, it's not really their brand. They're licensed. I mean, technically, yeah, but we're the content creators for that, right? So we have the power, truly. And I mean, think about this too. Like, a lot of people talk about, they're upset with Redbubble and the royalties, right? Etsy's always making new rules, or someone getting their whole shop deleted. You know what I'm saying? All of us are the content creators, right? What was it? I remember, I think it was Industrial Revolution, something like that in America, where people didn't have unions. There was a lot of employees, and they were just getting, treated horribly by these corporations. So what eventually they did is say, what if we all got together and decided that we're going to make demands, and that if we don't get our demands met, we're not going to do what they want. And then unions were formed. And this proved to change the game by people understanding the value that they're the ones that make these corporations run. And they're going to try real hard to make you not feel that way. But here we have situations where people are all upset about everything. What if, just imagine this. Imagine if you took whatever reach you had and you said, let's see if we could reach all the print on demand people in the world. I don't know how you would do it. It would, starting through YouTube, starting through Facebook groups, and you find out everyone on Redbubble, everyone on Etsy, and you say, you make a landing page and you put a survey on this landing page, and you say, are you satisfied with the platforms as they are today for POD? No. Do you wish you would gain more royalties as an artist on these websites? Yes. If there was a new platform, would you join it immediately and upload all your content to it? Represent the platform and promote the platform in order for it to become the #1 T-shirt selling platform? Yes. Now give me your name and your email. Boom. We now have an email list. What does this do? See, people got to think outside the box. If we could get an email list like that, you can now go to investors, you could go to sponsors, and you could say, I have over 1 million content creators, if we could get that much, right? So the hardest part would be to get that email list going. But when people are upset, they'll say, like, if you tell anybody this, even spam their folder, they're going to answer that survey because they're upset and they know they're getting, treated wrong. So I don't think it will be that hard. And then when you get a list like that, that list could be the most powerful thing that could change the future of print on demand. We are in a $60 billion industry by 2030, right? That's what they say. So you to investors, it's like, this $60 billion industry that's coming in 2030? Well, we have an email list for all the people who actually are creating the content that is running and pushing that industry. And they are all upset. And what that's called, once you take it into the business world, is a gap in the market. And when an investor sees a gap in the market, they can react to that. And they can say, oh, so you're telling me if we were to make a new platform that focused on artist royalties, there's a lot of opportunity here. We can compete with Amazon. You can compete with Etsy. You can compete with Redbubble. And then all you got to do is promise the artist that, imagine if you could go on a platform where you sold a $20 T-shirt and got a $10 royalty. Imagine that. People can make a living off 500 sales a month. No matter what. If you want a price of 35, go ahead. The royalty, $25. Anything above 10, right? Whatever cost is. And then if you have a not-for-profit POD platform, call Printful. Yo, Printful, we want to do some business with you. Can you give us some good prices if we do some contracts with you? Get Printful, Printify, get them all on board, right? You got companies like Gelato. What do? They just call printing companies. I can call a printing company and make a partnership. Why does it have to be only Gelato that thinks that way? If we thought different as POD content creators, we could actually own our own platform for us by going to the right investors. Like right now we're having this conversation. Imagine if you had this conversation with every other YouTuber and they had that conversation with every other group that they're in. And we just start the conversation, right? And now we get all this power. Everybody sign this email list. Everybody take the survey. And then we just get a couple people. I'm not saying even it's me. We spark the minds that are into business. I guarantee you there are entrepreneurs doing print on demand that think this would be a great idea. And then you go to these investors. You know how powerful it is to tell an investor you have in your hand right here on the email 1 million content creators who are all upset. Anger equals opportunity. When people are displaced, they need something, and that's big business in this capital world that we live in. And that idea, an investor will jump to it. I mean, they will jump sky high. Wait a minute, you got all these emails and all these people that will upload all that content. And then these other companies, guess what will happen? If you started that, and then you just find out how to pay the investors. We make it not for profit. So all the proceeds based on sales are designed for the artists. Right? And then what we could do, we could take the traffic and sell ad space to companies or whoever sponsors it. I don't care if Nike wants to do it. Okay, Nike, this will be your advertisement space. You could call it Nike's little store. We don't care what you call it. We care we get that $10 of royalty. So however this got to get done, as long as we have a declaration on the company that any profits made will be only to grow the company in promise of lowering costs and adding to the royalties. So if you get $10 a sale in 3 years, we've grown, now you're going to get $12 a sale. And that's the growth of the company. So rather of making a company where the growth goes into the pockets of the CEO, you make a company where growth goes to our pockets. And everybody who's on this website uploading it is going to promote it all day for free. Everyone you know who's uploading to, and how long will it take for them to find out about it? They might not have signed the list, but the minute that's built, it'll take a month tops for every print on demand artist on the planet to say, I'm going to upload there, because that's where the money's at. And if you get the cost down even more, we can even keep prices low. All right. You know what? We can charge $17 instead of $20, but you can still make $10 off of that. This can happen because all the money Amazon, Etsy, Redbubble, they make goes to the pockets of individuals. And those are millions and millions of dollars. You got investors who are getting back millions of dollars. That can easily be spread. There are POD people who can make a good living because they're in a country where $1,000 a month will feed their whole family.
Wait, so wouldn't that mean, though, you'd have to go without investors? Because typically, as soon as investors get involved, it turns into just profit.
You find out another way to monetize. See, there's different ways to monetize besides proceeds from sales, right? Advertisements. And we could do, like, you could really figure this out. And that's why this would be the job of the entrepreneur to figure out the details of it. We could add a editor, a t-shirt editor like Canva, but better, like something made for print on demand. And if users want to get that, they'll pay $10 a month. You could get some money that way, right? And there's other ways to feed people. You could do ads. You could do it similar to Amazon. People could pay for ads or whatever, but there's other ways besides the sale for the
royalties.
shirt.
Yeah,
you
besides
can make a
cutting the
social,
royalties. Because
exactly.
that's what every single website is doing.
Exactly. We could do ad-based website where you use ads to make money. We can turn it into like you could do anything you put your mind to. You don't want to just do what people are doing now. Let's think bigger than that. Let's make it a social media app. Okay, you're selling t-shirts. People could comment on every t-shirt. I would love if you made a fish instead of a goose. Here's your fish, more sales. What we're not doing now is communicating with the customers. But if we did, the customer's going to tell us what they want every time. Do you know how much less guessing you're going to have to do if you just put a comment section?
I have shirts selling. I have shirts selling today from ideas that Etsy customers gave me like 5 years ago.
There you go.
It works.
So imagine in real time. We don't even have to guess anymore. We can improve so much. Just because Amazon's making millions doesn't mean it's the best format. Just because Etsy's making millions doesn't mean it's the best format. We can improve so much on the way things are done right now. Social media, comment, hey, I want you to make one for a goose for my sister, change it to a squirrel for my brother, and then make one where it says this instead. There you go, your 3 sales right there. No more guessing.
I love your like big picture thinking because everyone's like, what design should I create? Or maybe what tool should I create for POD? But you're thinking, what platform should I create for POD? What's the ideal platform?
As people, where everyone has a voice of some sort. Now, the platform itself, there's no way to do it, like you said, without someone making money. So everyone won't be realistically, because I want to talk realistically, right? What does a platform that benefits the artist look like? You know what I mean? Like, what do you think actually? So what would you say, what problems would you fix on a POD platform? Let's ask you, Phil. You got an opportunity. We're going to make a POD platform that you're going to sell on. What does it need to be like?
Well, the big one is the royalties, obviously. There has to be transparency. I think that's one of the big things that most people lack with any platform. It's like, why did this design get rejected? Why did my shop get suspended? Like, there's no answers. There's only automated support bots that are useless. So transparency is key. Royalties are key, and royalties not constantly being decreased at the expense of the creator.
Perfect. And what I could say about that, the beautiful part about that is that when you're starting something new, you can make it use that. Basically, that's the philosophy of the company. See, when Amazon and Etsy do things, I've learned this through a friend of mine. When a company's big, small changes take time because you can't just make a decision. You got shareholders, so there has to be a meeting. Hey, do we want to add Raglans? They got to have a meeting for that. Then they have to see the data for that. Then you got to say, how are we going to do this across all this? We got AWS, we got server costs. There's a lot that goes on.
Yeah.
And that's why changes are difficult in big companies. But if you're building a new company, anything you want to be, it can be. No matter what idea you have, as long as you're starting with that good idea, it's not difficult, right? So people might think everything you just said, it's the easiest thing in the world. Right? Amazon by nature is going to use AI customer service. Yes, I believe AI is all Amazon customer service is AI, and I think they have been. Okay, that's just my opinion, the email stuff. So that doesn't mean we have to do it that way. That doesn't mean Amazon has to do it that way. That means that's just the way they're doing it, and they're not about to go try to change it now. So a lot of companies like Amazon are not doing things the best way, and they know that. But it doesn't matter because the money's coming in anyway. So when we start this new company, what you just said, just imagine how many people that care about print on demand want to put their 2 cents on what it should be. And it can be
I'm sure there's way more ideas and better ideas than what I just said. And this, all just spawned from me asking, is AI going to replace us? I love the way you think, and I wanted to also actually mention something there which is interesting or important for this conversation. I think of like AI. Why don't they use AI for us? You said Amazon is really slow, or big companies are slow, and Amazon is the biggest, or one of the biggest. And we feel this, right? The interface is old and useless. They have 17 products after 10 years. So we know that these changes are slow. They messed up the listings last year where everyone had every single color enabled. It took them weeks to figure that out. So if they're going to change the entire marketplace to make it fully AI instead of creator content, they will be the last to figure that out, and it will take a very long time. And they might be testing it. I agree with you. They would probably test it, and I could see it working with like one listing. You know how they've got the current one that says upload your own design. That's been doing quite well for them. They could make a listing that says create your own design. And I think what they'll realize is they'll let customers generate stuff, and it'll be horrible. And it might not print well, or it will be wrong and they'll get returned. So, or the customer won't really be able to figure out how to create what they want, because we are used to prompting, we're used to designing stuff with AI now. To us, it seems easy, but to a customer, it might not. And this is the case with almost everything that is being automated. It's like, yes, some people will use the automated options, but a lot of people prefer the manual way, or having some input, some control, or just having it kind of outsourced to have someone else do it for them rather than AI.
I think that's most people. Like when we are what we are, we have this, we believe other people, they can just make their own shirts. Nobody wants to. Okay, if you're not a POD designer, nobody wants to make their own shirts. You might sound cool at the time, but the minute they try, it's like, yo, just make me a shirt. I just want to just show me what you got. Let me buy it. Like anything, right? A lot of people make sales in a lot of businesses because of laziness. Now, I mean, I wouldn't call it laziness. Just I got a job. I'm a NASA architect. I don't care about designing a T-shirt. I just want one that's NASA. You know, and the idea that these people are going away somewhere, no, not at all. There's always going to be people who could care less about, you know, doing that little extra step to make it their own. It's a cool idea, and then when they realize they can't figure it out, they just want to see what's up there and buy it. Now, customization, on the other hand, I think is a big thing they're going to try to bring in, but they're going to have to do a system for it, right? And we're going to have to be a part of that system. It's going to be like, you know, make a design, and on the I don't know how they'll do it, but imagine if they have something where it says, okay, instead of text, you're just going to put your name. and then you're going to put a section for the image, and then they can use a library to populate that image and populate that text. But they still need a design to start with to motivate them. Like I said, I can't make designs, but I can edit them. And if you put some stuff in front of people that they can edit, I think that is kind of different. Or not even edit, imagine prompting, right? Like there's something now with prompts, if you're anyone who's into coding or video editing, it's the new thing that's coming now. You can edit a video and say, from 3 to 6 seconds, cut that out with a prompt. So that's what the future is. So I see Amazon doing that, right? They could take the designs we have. So instead of a PNG file, it's going to have to be a template system where the user can change what's on the t-shirt through a prompt. That's the future of everything. Everything is going to be tell it what you want. Right? It's going to be, or talk to it. That's even, it's going to be, tell me, hey, I want a fishing t-shirt for my grandfather. He's 40 years old. He loves the color blue and his birthday's next week. And then you get search results, right? So yeah, that's got to come because customization is 50% of sales, right? Custom t-shirts are 50% of t-shirt sales in print on demand. Wow. So that's why Amazon understands the importance of that, right?
Yeah, and they're not offering it at all. Right,
no,
at least not
it's
merch.
Definitely coming, but this is what I mean. These systems are going to take time, and
Yeah.
AI might help it a little bit, but those days are going to come. But I still believe they're going to always need us for something. Amazon doesn't know what like I said, they don't know what a t-shirt design is. No one working at Amazon knows what a good t-shirt or a bad t-shirt design is. They just know they make sales, and they know they want sales. The idea that they're going to figure out t-shirts, I highly doubt that. Corporations have zero creativity. Zero. They literally pay people for creativity. So a corporation, and when you got those meetings in that office, that oval table, none of them are being creative. None of them say, you know what would be cool if we did? That's not how they talk. They said, okay, we're going to need to get people to make this happen. Always. It's outsourced. You never do that yourself. So I think even if it does happen, it could be a beautiful thing. It could actually increase sales for us. Because right now, Amazon's doing their own upload your design here. If they have true customization, we could be a part of that as well. It could be a whole new system they're going to implement.
It's like we think of the templates that people can customize. That would be the idea, right?
Yeah. So the same thing people do on Kindle, it's going to be on Amazon, right? But they still need the content creator. That will never, ever, ever, ever stop. Okay, Amazon understands this. They're a data company, and they know without human beings, you're going to lose sales. They know this for a fact. There is no one that can argue anything opposite, and especially to us, because we know t-shirt designs. We're not. It's not regular graphic design. It's a whole different world. I think certain kind of graphic design, like website design, that's gone. AI is going to do website design, 100%. T-shirt design, I don't see it. I don't see it. Like even the AI, I noticed that regular fonts sell better than the AI fonts. Maybe it's just me. Okay. But I see those slight differences. And I feel like the better selling stuff is usually a font that you actually created rather than the one AI's. AI has like 5 fonts they like to use. They use the same things over and over. The AI is so limited. I know Amazon knows it. I just know they do. And it's going to be a fusion of us with AI that's going to be in the future. Because they don't want to piss us off too. They don't want to piss the people off, in my opinion.
I think some people would argue against that, but we'll leave them to argue. Talk to me a bit more about your strategy, because I think we brushed over that a little bit. You did mention you like to price low, right? But let's dig into the details of when you list stuff, do you always list it at 0 royalties? And if so, how long do you wait? I think people want to hear like a specific thing. How long am I supposed to wait until I can make money? What's the deal?
So patience, first of all, right? So every single USA standard t-shirt, $13.38, unless I'm chasing a trend, obviously, right? And even if I'm chasing a trend, actually, I think I know I will leave it at $13.38 for the first sale,
okay?
Right? Because in my opinion, the quicker you get that first sale, the more respect Amazon will put on that listing to check it for the next sale, right? So that first sale to me is important no matter what, and there's no logic in the world, in my opinion, that's going to say $13.38 is not going to sell faster. So at least for the very first sale on a trend. So yeah, every t-shirt always $13.38. If it's a trend or there's no reason to think that if time isn't on my side, the price is going up, right? But if it's an evergreen or something that I know I have the time to work on, so I'll just leave it there, see what sells, right? So let's say something makes its first sale, and I'm like, okay, cool. Now let's see when the second sale comes. Second sale doesn't come for a month later. oh, wow, that's not selling a lot, but I'm still going to give it a shot because now that's the second sale. So the third sale should be within less than a month. Every sale can't be longer than the one before it. Then
Should
it's
be
not
going up.
working. Yeah, there should be some improvement every time. So if it took a month for the second sale, I hope the next sale takes 3 weeks. Oh, it took 3 weeks. It's not selling a lot, but it's getting better. It may not seem like it is, but it's still better than the last sale. Now I waited 3 weeks. Maybe the next sale comes in 2. Sometimes I've had the experience where it just takes something a little bit longer to gain that traction. So as long as I feel that it is getting better, I'm going to leave it down to see how far it can go. I want to see the extent and the power of that listing. And the best way to do that is to get rid of all resistance, such as high prices. I don't want anyone undercutting my price. 1338, that's going to tell me, do people like this design and how much do you like it? Like I had t-shirts that they'll never go past one sale every 3 days. That's just like no matter what I do, one sale every 3 days. Okay, now I know that. Let me check the competition, put the price up. And even then, I'm still competitive. Right, I still want to be the most bought shirt. So if there's a lot of $19.99, I'm like, you okay? You know what? I put $17.99. If there's a lot of $15.99, I might do just $14.99. Right, because I still want to beat everyone. I want to. Right, I'm a nice person in life, but when we're in that Amazon ring, I'm crazy. I want to destroy you. You understand? I want to destroy every listing. I want you to lose sales so I can make sales. I'm just being honest. When we're in that ring, that's my mentality. I want to undercut everyone here if possible. I want the sales. I want to win. And that's what I do. I will undercut someone to take the sales and see if it's working. It doesn't always work, right? Because someone's design could just be better. And they won't pay that extra $2. And a lot of times I'll do $2 because $1 is not enough difference. Right? Somebody sees $15.99, $16.99, that's not a big savings. I'm gonna go with the $16.99 shirt. But if I see $14.99 and $16.99, man, I could save $2. I could use that $2 savings right now. Let me go with that. So I'm always competing with that in mind, usually. Sometimes, but once you get that good BSR, that's a whole different game, right? Because that's the point of that really low BSR. Now I'm not scared. You can undercut me all you want. I know that my BSR is powerful and I know that I'm going to continue to make sales, but when it does fall off, then I'll put it back down. But what I'm always looking to do, truthfully, is just compete with everyone. I want to compete with everyone on the page. If I see my shirt next to yours, you better believe I'm looking at your t-shirt to see what you're doing because I want to beat you. I want to beat every neighbor on that thing. I'm a beast in that arena. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I want. So I will make no sales just to be the most seller on the front page. Right? I have a hunger that I need to satisfy, period. And that's how...
That cha-ching sound, that's your addiction.
Yeah, I want my cha-ching, no matter what. That's what I need. And that's the kind of mentality I have. You know, like I said, I'll give away my secrets. I'll tell you everything I do so that you can make sales. But when I'm on that board, I am doing every tactic I can to beat you. And I would rather make less royalties than see someone outsell me. I would rather make no money than to see someone outsell me. And that's just how I feel. It's just a competitive spirit, right? And it's just competition. I don't think that's a bad thing. Amazon is the most competitive store known to man because of that BSR. This is competition. And the sooner you can wrap yourself around it, like I just did in this video I'm editing where I'm showing less competition, which is smart, right? And I still want less competition, less amount of results. But if you got a 50,000 and I got to compete in it, I'm going to figure that out. I know how to compete because competition is where the real money is, if you want to be honest about it. You know,
let's dig into this a little bit then, because I'm wondering how do you find and how do you pick niches? Like, do you look at BSRs? Do you have a certain number of search results in mind, or do you just go for anything and just see what happens? What's your process there with niches?
It's a lot of spontaneous, right? I ain't gonna lie. Like I don't have a standard that I go by. I just look and then I feel, and then I also look how easy it is to compete, right? So I think everybody knows the strategy of cross niching, right? That works on that, that works on that. But I feel like people still don't do it as much. Like I don't think that we'll ever run out of that option because you can look in any niche. And I can show you on one page, you can pull up anything now, and I can show you all the things that haven't been done yet. Oh, no one crossed that with that. No one used that color on that. People aren't doing it.
Maybe they did, but they priced it too high and it's on page 50. Right?
Or something, yeah. And by the way, well, I don't want to change the subject just yet. But so when it comes to how to get into a niche, I think the biggest factor is how easy is it for me to compete with the knowledge that I have. I know how to cross niches very well. And now we got ChatGPT. That's another little trick. You know, you can go ChatGPT, say, these are the 3 top selling shirts. Make me one. that fuses them. Boom. You could show ChatGPT all the top selling shirts in the niche. I could even show it one of my templates. Here's what I want it to look like, right? So I'm gonna take a top selling design. Hey, ChatGPT, I want my design to look like this, but I want it to have this content. You show it both. This is what you want it to look like. This is the content you want it to have. Go. You got top selling. If all you do is take top selling elements, what better can you do? Right? This is the color that sells. This is the phrase that sells. This is the image that sells. Put them together.
Just to clarify, though, for people watching who may be new to this, I think what you're not saying is take a bestseller, copy it. You're saying look at the bestsellers, combine the elements into something new.
100%.
Yeah.
It's a classic old trick that I've done since day one, and it never goes away. And there's never, what do you call it? It's always abundant. There's always a lot of options, right? You never look and say, damn, I don't know what to do here. I've never had that happen. If it's a high selling niche, it's very easy to find enough things that haven't been crossed together. It's the easiest thing in the world. You know, and it's like, I get that people don't know what to design, but I don't know, maybe just one session, you show them this technique, done. Do this for the rest of your career. If that's the only thing you do, look at everything selling, cross them, upload. Look at everything selling, cross them, upload. You're not going to lose, right? Because no one's crossing them the way you're crossing them. You're deciding what niches to cross. You're deciding what designs to cross, and there's millions of them. So you just throw them in ChatGPT and make that fusion, done deal. If that was your only option and only using graphic AI, you could make it now. There's people who only use AI now. It's not a bad thing to do, right? So people who can't design, it's like, if you only knew a few things, there's really no excuse. Anybody can win. It's easier. Like, some things are harder. Tier 10 is harder because we don't know what Amazon wants us to do to get out of it. But as far as how to make sellable content, it's the easiest time in the world ever. It's never been this easy to make a t-shirt that can sell, right? So I understand, like, when you see a bunch of people doing the same thing on Ideogram, I just wish, like, yo, if you only knew the power you're ignoring by doing that, like, they think that's what I got to do. Go on Ideogram, make the exact copy of it. It's not exact. It's not P for P. There you go. It's not illegal, and that's what you see now. And the biggest problem I have with that is that you're selling yourself short when you do that. You have an opportunity. That time that you took to make that design, you could have had one that would have sold, rather than one you're praying, oh, please sell, please sell, please sell. No, I'm gonna make a design that says that's gonna sell. Not please. I'm not gonna pray for a design to sell. I'm gonna make it sell, and I'm gonna do what it takes to have the elements. This is the easy. You could argue it's the easiest thing in the world. Look, you got eyes. Take a look. That one's selling. BSR is 50,000. Oh, take a look at that one. That BSR is 50,000. Combine them.
Walk me through, because you've had a lot of best-selling designs. I've seen some of the examples in your videos. Walk me through some commonalities that you've found throughout your bestsellers. Like, is it typically a new idea that hasn't been done before? Is it in a niche with very high demand, very high competition? Like, what typically makes a bestseller for you?
The common denominator is something that's not on Amazon. Period. Right? I think I don't know if that's what made my lowest BSRs ever, but it's what made my most low sellers. Is low BSR sellers. It's taking something that's not already on Amazon and being the first. If everyone comes and copies you, like, I used to be like, oh, everyone's copying. No, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. You just went into you just got everyone else helped your listing because your listing was first. So the more people go and copy you, the more you're gonna sell. A lot of people don't understand that. Now, if you got your priced at $22, that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to get undercutting is a real thing, but because I have a low price thing, you're not going to undercut me that much. And people are always going to look, even if it's $14.99 for a while, right? Or if people start undercut me, I'm gonna put my price down, but I'm gonna be that number one seller. And I'm gonna get that low BSR even faster. So I don't really see to me, there's nothing to lose when people copy you if you react accordingly, right? Because like if you want to compete on low prices, you just forced me to get a better BSR, right? But as far as how to get to that low BSR, it's 100% take Pinterest is, Pinterest is like, I feel like I owe them money, whoever created Pinterest. You know what I'm saying? I owe them money because what they've done for me is incredible when it comes to making money. And Instagram too. I had certain people that you follow that just, this one lady was hilarious and I would just follow her every day and I feel like I owe her money. I got t-shirts that were direct ripoffs of her Instagram post. Like it's direct as You know, like back then there wasn't AI, but I made it look as, because I like, yo, the way she presented it was great. So I would just boop, put it right on there. I mean, it will never be exact, but you know what I mean. Just, you know, and that has
It was the
always
same
been,
idea, just your
yeah,
version of
same
it.
idea. Like I
But it
said, there's
didn't
really
exist on
no,
Amazon. That was the key point, right?
that's the
You
key
saw
point.
it
It's,
on social media. It wasn't on Amazon yet. And it wasn't a trend, I'm guessing. It was more of an evergreen thing that didn't die
yeah.
overnight.
The other thing was, it was because I laughed at it, not because I had any other proof, right? So a lot of times, if I find if have you ever seen a shirt and just bust it out with a giggle or, oh, that's funny, that's gold. You better go upload that. If you're ever anywhere in your life and someone's shirt makes you react in any way, go put
Yeah.
that on Amazon right away.
That's what
Right?
sells, the
That's
emotional
what, yeah,
response.
the emotion, that
Yeah.
reaction. So if I'm reacting to an Instagram post, I need that on Amazon right now. You know what I'm saying? And that idea, I think a lot of people don't follow that. You know, what you like matters. Like, you have a sense of humor, and if you laugh that hard at something, there's someone else who will too. And those ideas are something that really impacted you. It could be a quote that you like, whatever the case, anything that makes you feel.
Do they have to be t-shirt designed? So if you're searching on Pinterest, could it just be that you're searching for memes? Because memes, as they are, don't really work on a shirt, but you could use the same phrase that's on a meme and maybe turn it into a
100%.
shirt design.
Try it. With memes, it could be hit or miss. I actually do sell memes that are exactly as the meme, but it's allowed apparently.
Okay.
But so I have, well, not exactly, I'm lying, but I took a meme and I'll make a design out of it, and it's either hit or miss. But if it hits, memes sell for years. I got two strong meme sellers, and they've been selling for years nonstop. I don't understand why. Like, the meme was from years ago. But something about any memes that kids love, that's a secret right there. If kids love a meme, that's it. They're going to love that. Kids will watch that for the next 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So any meme that makes
That's
kids
good,
laugh,
because I've just started selling in a kids meme niche.
bro, if
I like
that
hearing
takes
that.
off, yeah, memes for kids, big winners.
Okay.
You know?
And it's what's also good about that is, at least based on my channel's audience, most POD sellers are not kids. Most POD sellers are 30 plus, so we don't understand the memes, so less people are going to bother even looking into it, trying to design it, because they just don't get it, right? So you kind of have a competitive edge, because most people be like, oh yeah, I'll do fishing shirt, because fishing is easy to understand as an adult. Whereas some weird social media trend that 13-year-olds watch isn't.
Yeah, there's a couple people in very high tiers, a couple ladies who are like, you know, I think they were like preschool teachers or something. And you just know that it's the easiest thing in the world for them. Anyone who's teaching kids at school, you're just going to come home and make everything those kids love. Things that no one's ever going to know. Things that Google can't tell you. She knows the songs they're singing. She knows the games they're playing. She knows the dances they're doing. You don't need anything else.
I wonder if Steve is watching this and he's one of those people. Because do you know Steve from the group? He's a music teacher.
Oh, yeah?
He's doing really well on Amazon. Maybe that's why.
That's probably one of the reasons. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you notice, I'll go ahead and say it, I'm Puerto Rican. That's my niche. No one's going to beat me in that niche. I can make a design right now and tell you I got a 99% chance of selling this. I just know the niche, right? So that's another good secret what to have. Anything you know a lot about, you got to be selling in that. You know what I mean? But not all of them are profitable, right? You might know something you might love cats. Okay, good luck.
Yeah.
Right? You might have a wiener dog, and good luck with that. You know what I mean? Like, even though you could make some stuff, that's why I say it, but you could make some stuff that other people may not understand.
Yeah.
Something, but there's a lot of people that have a wiener dog, so you do have competition.
What do you think most merch sellers get wrong?
Oh, wow, that's a heavy one.
Just off the top of the head, is there anything that you see
sellable
people...
designs. Sellable designs. And when I say sellable, I think it goes back to making something that's not already there, right? You can make money with copying on Ideogram. Yeah, you can make sales, but I think that people are scared to be, I'm not gonna use the word original because nothing's original, but they're scared to try something new. I think that's the biggest mistake everybody makes, right? Imagine if the only thing you did was t-shirts that aren't on Amazon. If that was your only strategy, and you know how to keyword it a certain way so that it can pop up in these search results, I think if someone had a challenge where that's the only thing they did, I think they'd end up being one of the best sellers. but no one's going to do that because of the anxiety, right? I got to sell, so I got to do what everyone else is doing.
I think it's like a common human psychology thing. If you imagine yourself driving on a road with other cars and you don't have any sat nav, like you have no navigation, you don't know which way to go, the road splits. Most people are going to follow all the other cars. They're not going to go down the road that no one's going down. On Amazon, most people want to follow the BSR and do exactly what has a BSR, because if the strategy you just suggested is taking the road that no one's taking, it's using a design that's not been done before, that doesn't have a BSR yet, and there's more risk. Of course, it could be the wrong way, and oftentimes, it won't sell. But same thing, if you do the BSR thing, oftentimes it won't sell.
Exactly. It's the same risk, right? But people don't think about that. You're taking the same risk by taking an ideogram copy and uploading it. You could be wasting the same amount of time.
Yeah.
So if you just did something if you took the same time and did something different, you would be surprised. At first you won't sell, but like anything in POD or a lot of things, give it time. Keep doing the same thing. That 10,000 kicks from Bruce Lee. Do it over and over. You'll get it eventually. And it's that fear that I need money now. Right? I see a lot of this, a lot of new people. I need money. How can I do this? I stopped everything. I took every course. I watched every video. I need to make money. But that's not how it works. Right? So if you're not going to, the first thing you need to understand is if you just started, stop thinking about money. Start thinking about how to get good. Start thinking about how to do the right thing. And you can't do that when you're only thinking about the money. You're not going to try to think, now I'm going to chase every trend. I'm going to chase every BSR. I didn't do a BSR research for, I think, the first 2 years on merch. I never did. I just uploaded. I had this account from this illustrator, $20 a month. He didn't know what POD was. So I just started. I said, yo, can I upload this? He's like, I don't care. As long as you're not, taking the PNG file and giving it to somebody, that's what it's for. You get these designs, you put them on t-shirts. So I started uploading, no research. I was just uploading illustrations, right? And Amazon thought I was an illustrator because they invited me to that program, the Merch Collab program. So I did no research. Just by uploading these nice designs, back before it was really flooded, right? You didn't have a lot of beautiful mountain lion drawings. So I had this beautiful mountain lion. It was very beautifully done. I didn't research, I just uploaded. And it sells to this day. To this day, I have sellers on things that were never researched. Just the idea that if you have something that looks nice and people want to buy it, or not even looks nice, just resonates with somebody, what does it matter that there's a million more on there? What matters is that they could see it that one time. And now it's definitely harder, don't get me wrong, but you could compete with anything. Like if you take a bunch of designs, upload them in a crowded niche, and let's say we figured a rule out where if it's gonna sell within the first week. You could just make a bunch of cool AI things, not the same thing everyone's doing, just really cool illustrations, very beautiful looking things. It doesn't matter what, in the cat niche, right? The most crowded, what's cars, cats? What do you think is the most crowded? Either cars or cats or something like that, right?
I think it's got to be cats probably, yeah. Bigfoot. Bigfoot is a big one.
Yeah, so every design is gonna have some visibility at some point. If you just focused on making the coolest looking cat designs in the world and just started uploading, who cares if it's crowded? Something eventually will sell. And if you can sell in that niche, now in that niche, you're going to have to do the 1338 unless you're doing ads, right? And if you could get in that niche, man, yeah, and both, right? We talked about that, putting ads on a 1338 shirt. If you could get that to that front page, and if you look, and I analyze a lot, you look on the cat front page, they're changing their prices all the time. All the time. Those front page cat t-shirts, pay attention. And watch how many price changes you see, because they're not trying to lose that front page. Once you get to that front page, you want to keep that. And if you want to, I think going in crowded niches is something that can be the most rewarding, period. And people fear that, right? And I'm not saying you should only go after crowded niches. You should find us crowded because there's opportunity there too. But you ask, what do people get wrong? I think that they feel they have to follow the maze everyone is following. I actually think it hurts a lot of people when they, get advice before they start. Some advice is right, like how to do the things the right way. But as far as you should use this strategy or that strategy, if you're just starting, I wouldn't chase any particular strategy. See what works for you and your personality. And I think a lot of people are like, well, I saw this YouTube. Like some people, I get a little nervous when someone watches my YouTube and says, I'm going to do exactly what he did. I'm like, yo, I don't know if that's going to be what's best for you. right? I did what I did because of, my situation. I don't know that if you're good with numbers and you're good with spreadsheets, you could do something way better and smarter than what I did. Right? I hate spreadsheets. Spreadsheets make my brain hurt. I can't organize my t-shirt sales for my life. So my strategy helps me with that. It's one of the reasons I do it, because it's easier on my brain.
Yeah.
I'm not nervous about ads that don't work and losing money. This is why I do it. It doesn't mean it's the smartest way. So if someone's like, I'm gonna do everything the way you're doing it, I'm like, whoa, don't do that. Don't do that. Right? Don't just do it because I did it. Like a lot of people are like, okay, now when do I put the price up? I'm like, dude, I left it down for like a year. So if you can't last a week, maybe this is not the best strategy for you. And like I can already see somebody saying it didn't work. Would you leave it down? A month. Well, that's why. So it's not everyone's going to have the stomach for it. So you got to go with something that works best for you. And I think in the very beginning, I remember looking for help and not being able to find it. On Facebook, they were calling me names. They were saying I was stupid. I was like, okay, this ain't going to work. So I got to do this on my own. And because I had no choice but to figure things out on my own, I had to fall off that bike and get up with no help. It made me really learn the game. Like I say all the time, I'm trying to master the process, not shortcut the process. And sometimes when someone says something, hey, do this. Oh man, this works really well. What didn't happen is you didn't fall off that bike. You didn't go through the pain of understanding why you do what you do now. So you have to still rely on what someone else is going to tell you. And now you're not mastering anything. So the I think thing I was most lucky about is that I figured things out on my own. And I still figure things out on my own. Right? I analyze all the time. Like I just saw something in the algorithm Amazon is doing that is very interesting and I want to talk about, where I'll do a search for something that a lot of people have a product for, and it's not necessarily in the auto suggest. And this happened while I was making the video. I noticed this 3 times. The very front page will have 2 or 3 designs with the exact phrase I was looking for. Then it'll have a bunch of other designs. Then you go to page 2 and nothing that I searched for is on page 2. Then I go to page 3 and it's flooded with people who uploaded for that
Exact phrase.
I'm gonna show you this. I got this in my next video. I'm gonna show it. This is a recurrent, and this is what thing that I do. I pay attention like my life depends on it. I pay attention like my income depends on it. This is my money. I want to know everything about Amazon. I want to know everything about AI. I want to know everything about everything that I use to make money. So if Amazon's making changes, I need to know that. If they're putting everyone on page 3, this is what it seems like. That's just my theory right now because of all the influx of ideogram images. They're like, okay, we don't want the customer to have that experience. We're not going to say you can't do it because that's too complicated to try to decide what design gets uploaded. So AI is what I believe, just a theory, is looking at every upload, saying this looks exactly like that, page 3. You're not offering anything. So we're going to put you on page 3. And I'm seeing this. You're going to see, I'm going to prove this. Right? That this is what, I don't know that this is the reason, but I have seen this in 3 searches so far.
Okay.
And the common denominator is that they weren't on the auto suggest yet. So it could be something that Amazon is deciding, is this something people really want? And just in case it is or isn't, we're not going to flood the front page with those designs. We're going to put 3 of those designs on the front and the rest on page 3. And when you look on page 3, they all happen to look exactly the same. So things like this, I'm not saying this particular thing is going to benefit me somehow, but I am very addicted to knowing everything I can know about everything I can know. When
you
it comes
pay
to
attention really, really
Big
closely.
time.
And you
Big
play into
time.
your strength. And again, like Jose's not saying you have to be this person to succeed. That's what he's like playing into. That's what he likes doing. He enjoys and focuses on this stuff. I personally rarely look on Amazon.com and like try and figure out what's Amazon changing in the search results. I do a lot of research through a research tool, which doesn't really give me that real experience. I love automating things. I love focusing on other stuff. I like uploading. I like AI. So you have to find your edge and what you enjoy and can focus on as an advantage. Some people love ads. Some people are really, they're in there all the time. They have their spreadsheets, they like to do that stuff. You have to just find it for yourself.
Exactly.
And not just follow someone's advice blindly. You can always find some points and things like I've spoken to Jose a few times before this interview. And yes, I've tried listing some things at 13.38 or dropping some prices of old shirts that are already selling. And I'm taking bits of his strategy, testing them for myself and seeing what works for me with my designs, with my listings. Maybe it doesn't work. In some cases, it has been working. In some cases, no. So again, it's a trial and error thing. Don't just rely on someone else's strategy entirely.
Exactly, I guess that's the best answer. So what do people get wrong is the idea that they're not capable of figuring it out and they need someone else. That's the best answer of what people get wrong. Because when you realize, I think Steve Jobs had a quote something like, "When you realize the people that make the rules are no smarter than you are,
Yeah.
you'll be able to do anything." And I think a lot of times the people who are new get intimidated when they see someone like me. They tend to think, "Oh wow, one day I want to be like you." I'm like, dude, I'm nothing. Like I'm stupid compared to other people. I just want it bad enough, and I figured it out because I'm not going to quit. So I will keep doing whatever. If I was smarter, I would be doing these dudes who got $15,000 worth of ads, $30,000 of sales. That's smart. That's what intelligent people do, right? So I don't think my strategy is the smart strategy. My strategy is I'm not good at this, so let me do this method that helps me out without needing to be good at this. That's kind of what it is. I play the BSR game. I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not the best, but I know how to put something in 1338. I can do that, right? So that's what it boils down to. But that doesn't mean it's the smartest way to make money. You know what I'm saying?
And again, like I know people that are pricing at $22.99 regularly and doing extremely well.
Exactly.
It both can work. Find what works for you. If you've never tried the low pricing thing, one thing I would definitely recommend to anyone is if you've been on merch for a while and you have some old listings that have kind of died off, they used to sell, now they don't really sell, or it's like once a month, definitely try it with those. Definitely. There's like nothing that speaks against that.
Nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
They're already not selling for you anyway. You might as well get a few sales without royalties and then put the price up again later. And then it might be selling again more regularly. You never know until you've tried that. You're not losing anything by doing that. One question that I've been waiting to ask you for a while is, do you think passive income is a myth?
I think it's I think they got to redefine the word, right? Passive income, it's too, there's no, like if you look at it literally, no, there's no such thing. Everything takes work, right?
Agreed.
But I think unless you're a millionaire, then no, right? When it comes to investment money, there is a such thing, right? When you have a lot of money, then you invest in something that's passive, 100%, right? But when it comes to print on demand, or let's just say online hustles, no, not at all, right? It can be semi-passive for a second. Like what happened to my account was a perfect example. When I got sick and couldn't work, I went from 136,000, couldn't work at all, made 105,000 the next year, right? But if I keep not working, the next year it went down to 85,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So passive for a while, but not passive to the point that you never have to worry again. But it's semi-passive is I could take 3 months off and I'll be okay.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to get out of you. And I knew that year that you had where you did nothing, and obviously making 100K without lifting a finger, you can't deny that is passive income for the moment. Like you said, it doesn't last forever. It took a lot of upfront work, so it's not truly like passive without doing anything.
Yeah.
But for that year, it was passive. Right, you weren't doing anything. You weren't able to do something, and I think that's a very inspiring story because most of us YouTubers that talk about this or discuss it or argue about it, like we are constantly doing POD because we enjoy it and we're doing it every single week. So we can't really test this theory. You were kind of forced into testing it, and whilst your sales went down, they still stayed pretty good, thanks to the work that you did up front. So I think this is the beauty of print on demand, and one of the benefits to it is, tell me a job where you can just leave for a year and you won't get sacked or you won't lose your income. If you have to, if it's an emergency, family thing, health thing, almost in every single scenario, you're going to lose out big time on money, whereas POD at least has the potential to stick with you at least for a while.
Yeah. Like let's say you got to move to a new household. Oh man, it's gonna take a week to move. I got to unplug everything. You're gonna be okay, right?
Yeah.
So that's that. On that level, there's nothing like it. That I can stop. Okay, I got to do a surgery. Can't work for a week. You're gonna be okay, right? And that's the big beauty of it. So, yeah, passive is this broad statement, but passive in the sense that passive when you need it to be, right? I think that that's, what it
You have
is.
the
But
option to hit pause, whereas with
yeah,
the job, you don't really, especially in the US where we get like 5 days holiday a year or something. I know in Europe
yeah.
it's a little bit more, but yeah,
Here's
in most cases, you can't hit pause for very long before the money stops dropping or you get into trouble or whatever. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk to you
then
about.
there's
The reason is
also
good.
the extra sales that you get when Amazon adds a product, stuff like that you could consider passive as well. Like I didn't
Yeah.
upload no crop tops, so that money that they put on crop tops, that's kind of passive. I didn't do that. I didn't work for that. Right? They started putting stuff on tumblers themselves. I didn't work for that.
Yeah, did they
Right?
upload to tumblers for you automatically?
Yeah, they uploaded tumblers for me. They didn't for you.
Well, I don't
Maybe you
watch
didn't
it
notice
that
because
closely. Maybe I just didn't notice because there's so many
in the
products.
very
But
beginning, I started noting. I said, when did I do that? Or maybe they stopped because what happened is they were uploading it with one side only and
that
not
could be.
both. So I don't know. Maybe they stopped after they realized people knew how to do both sides. I don't know, but they did a lot of uploads to tumblers for me.
Well,
And when
I uploaded a ton straight from the beginning, so maybe with my account it was like, okay, we don't have to do that. Your account getting a lot of sales, he's not uploading tumblers. We should probably push some. Maybe that's the reason behind it.
so
But
things like that are passive. When Amazon starts adding these products and not involving us in it, but taking our designs, there's passive right there.
yeah.
Think about it.
Another thing I wanted to discuss with you is you're really big on Photoshop. We've not touched on that yet, but you're a big Photoshop geek. You have a lot of templates as well on your channel, which I highly recommend anyone check out his channel. It will be linked down below. Jose is giving out a lot of really good information and free stuff as well, like designs, templates for Photoshop, tons of stuff in your email. What I wanted to talk to you about is why do you use Photoshop so much? Why not use AI instead?
I think if you don't use Photoshop, then you might think it's just difficulty to it. But if you know Photoshop very well, it's way easier than AI. Period. It's faster and easier. Now, obviously, if you don't know how to do it, you may not feel that way. But because it's like second nature to me at this point, like a fun fact, when I was really sick, I couldn't do many things. I could design on Photoshop. It was this weird thing. There was a lot of things that I could not do, but something about Photoshop and me, we're just connected, right? I can open up Photoshop, I can design, and it's therapeutic for me. So that may have a lot to do with why I choose Photoshop, but it was also the fact that I needed to learn it because I wanted templates. I said, well, I don't know what to do, how to make designs. So the template idea was what I wanted more than anything in the world. It was like the only way I felt I could really succeed with making my own designs. So it came out of a necessity. I would literally, one thing at a time, I tried taking Photoshop courses and it never worked. Like, here's what everything on this menu does. Like, that's not helpful. So what I started doing is looking for, okay, I want to make that design. Fake it till you make it. I would take the best designs on merch, just put them right on my canvas, and then just trace. Remember when kids don't know how to draw, you get a trace paper, you put it over, and you trace. And then that's the beginning of something. If you trace enough, eventually you can do those movements with your hand without needing to trace, right? You get used to it. So I would just copy stuff. And oh man, how did he get that curve on there? YouTube, just one thing at a time. How do I curve a text? Now I know. Damn, how did he do that? And learning one thing at a time, this became, I didn't realize until other people started using my templates that I'm like, wait a minute, I'm able to do things apparently other people don't know how to do. And that was the first realization. I mean, this is powerful stuff. And then the more people would say, how'd you do that? I'm just like, oh, wow, I think I might have the most powerful tool for making designs here. Because, and this was before, Kittle and Campbell was all that big and everything. So it was almost kind of, what else are you going to use? I think a lot of people were using Affinity and all that. And when it became second nature to navigate Photoshop, it's an addiction, therapeutic. And I forgot the question. What was the question?
I was wondering why you don't use AI, but it makes sense.
Over AI.
You're so good with Photoshop.
Yeah,
There's a
so
lot of
okay,
things
so
you can
AI
do.
comes out, right? So when AI comes out, I'm like, wow, this is awesome. This is amazing. I'm using ChatGPT or Midjourney or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, background. Oh, this didn't get rid of the background the way I wanted to. Why is the background so hard to get rid of? Well, it's AI. I mean, I remember I had hired a couple people when Midjourney came out to remove backgrounds for me before the background removers came out because I was doing stuff in bulk. And it just, the more I did AI, the more I said, oh, I got to get this idea out. I went right to Photoshop. I'm not going to a place where I got to make the design, wait for it to get made, then upscale it, make sure the upscale was nice and good. Then I got to get rid of the background. Then I got to download it. Hopefully it's not a zip file. Then I got to unzip it. Then I got to bring it in Photoshop anyway. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. When I could just open a Photoshop template, type in a couple words, and hit save.
The way
The
of
minute
least
you do
resistance
one
for
next
you.
to the other, it's a no-brainer. I love AI. I love AI. There's no question about it. AI is amazing. But when I got time constraints, I don't want AI.
Do you use AI to generate images?
Yeah, I'm a Mid-Journey buff more than anything because I kind of grew with them when they started. I was uploading stuff when people were still asking, "Can we use AI?" You know, yeah, we can. Why couldn't we? You know, it's just an image. I think that stigma everyone put on AI made people scared. I was uploading from day one. The minute Mid-Journey started doing halfway decent stuff, I was doing that. Like I remember when I saw that they could do stuff, but no background remover, but I could make a black background. So I started making these nice images that they would make and then just keep it on a black t-shirt. I would just remove the black, upload on black only. Problem solved. Now I don't need a background remover. So I did a lot of that in the beginning. And a lot of that is selling right now. Not because it's the greatest, but because I was one of the first to have those style designs. Remember, being the first, that's another little trick people need to understand more. Being the first, be more curious. Stop wondering, should I do this? Just do it. You might
Yeah.
start a new trend. And I remember when Mid-Journey came out, I was the Mid-Journey king. And to this day, I got a subscription for it, right? I pay all the money. This time, the months where I don't even use it, I refuse to not have it. Right, so that's $60 a month or something like that. I had months I'm like, they charge me, hey, we charge another month. I'm like, I didn't even use it this month. Right, that's how much, but I gotta have it. I can't live without it. I like to have, this is my, this is what I do. So my tools are my babies. I need them, whether I'm using them or not. You take any career, like you take a carpenter who has his tools. You're like, let me take this hammer. No. I don't care if I'm not using it. You're gonna leave it right there. I want my tools. And that's how I am with Mid-Journey. I was Mid-Journey before Ideogram. So now Ideogram is cool, but I think I just like that Mid-Journey is very easy to do things in bulk because they have you could just put like 30 things in parentheses. And now that one prompt is 30 images, right? So I'm a fan of anything that works that way. And I know Ideogram has one, but it's a spreadsheet and I hate spreadsheets. I've never done it. I know they do it, but I've never once done it because they use spreadsheets. I'm like, that's horrible, horrible. If anyone in Ideogram is listening, get rid of the spreadsheet stuff. Make it like Mid-Journey. Just give me a prompt, put 30 things in there, press enter, you're done. So I like ease of use, and Mid-Journey was my go-to. And then Mid-Journey's style was just the most creative, I think, until ChatGPT came out. Now with ChatGPT, I actually pay for the $200 version. So I'm addicted to ChatGPT now. Because I
see your pattern.
Listen, for $200, people are like, that's a lot of money, but I get unlimited images. When you're a creative person, like I know people say, my brain goes like this, right? When you have that brain like this, that works very well when it comes to prompting. All right. And the last thing in the world I need is a limit. Don't limit me. I'm in a creative mode. I want to do go. ChatGPT is the most amazing thing to ever happen to the t-shirt game in history. All right. Better than Mid-Journey, better than anything. The things that it can do, it just still boggles my mind. So when it comes to creativity, ChatGPT is king because you can think of something and then have it on an image 2 minutes later. That's crazy. And ChatGPT is the best when it comes for that. And if it doesn't do exactly what you want, give it a little reference. Done. So I'm in love with AI, but I'm not in love with AI speed, but I do love the creativity factor that I have. It works very well with AI. So what I will do is like, I'll just do a day where I'm prompting. I might be a lazy Sunday for me. I might be hanging out on the couch. I'm prompting. We'll make another one. Okay, while I wait for that, I'm watching this TV show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's done. Make another one. Oh, that didn't come out. I got a laptop next to me while I'm watching
I've done this
TV,
as well. I know
right?
exactly what you mean.
Why not? Why not use that time for something good? I'm like, next thing you know, there's so many things you could do with prompts. While I'm watching TV, like I don't know if I'm enjoying TV shows as much as I used to because I'm always only watching halfway. It's like, I got a prompt. I don't watch like what happened now. I've watched TV episodes like 3 times before because I'm like, wait a minute, I missed this. I'm not paying attention because I'm always doing something on the laptop. And I think that's another addiction that not everybody likes that. I know people were like, well, you got to have a separation. And I think that's another little thing is that I don't have a separation between what I do for work and what I do for fun. right? I will prompt for fun. I will design on Photoshop for fun. Like this is Saturday, right? I don't even know what day it is. It's Saturday night. We over here on the podcast. I don't want to go
I
anywhere.
forgot as well, to be honest.
You know?
It's the same
Yeah.
for me.
I don't want to go nowhere. People like, yo, it's
Yeah.
Saturday. What you doing? Nah, I'm doing a podcast. We're talking about print on demand. That's what I'm doing, and that's what I want to do. You know, so
It really
that
shows like your energy about POD is huge. Like if you're not passionate about POD, I don't know who is. And I'm sure this. I mean, we've been talking for 1.5 hours. I'm sure this could go on for 2, 3, 4 hours. Like
Yeah.
we would
And
we
it
would
has.
keep finding something to talk about with you. But yeah, I think ChatGPT as well is huge, and anyone who's not tried it for POD, you're really missing out.
It's
But
a
I do
mistake.
see it. I do see a pattern with you where you find your thing and you're very loyal to it. I'm guessing you've probably not sold on other platforms besides Amazon. Like I'm sure you've not had an Etsy shop.
Yeah, Amazon is what I mean. I do have an Etsy shop, but I think it makes me like $200 a month.
Okay,
You know,
so
posters. I sell posters. Posters is the other thing that I think is really, really underrated.
Okay.
It's like selling digital products to me because I've never had a return in 8 years.
8
You know,
years.
so in 8 years, I just used Printful's cheapest poster. I tested it. I remember when I bought it, they package it beautiful. Like you could step on the tube and that poster's fine. And then when you open it, you get exactly what you saw on the mock-up, right? Posters don't come different. They're more vibrant than a t-shirt, right? And people want to put them in their home. So they're willing to pay, you know, if they see something that they don't see anywhere else, they're willing to pay for it. And I just love that there's no returns and very little customer service. The only customer service I've done in 8 years is like an address change, things like that. It's always delivery stuff. Never once had I had a customer look and say anything about the poster other than 5 stars. Great poster. You know, so posters, and if you could sell on Amazon also, that's also pretty good. Like if you take the whole merch mentality and instead of searching t-shirt, you just switch it to poster, you're going to find so many openings. You're going to find millions of gaps in the market. Posters are a great one.
This is a good point actually, because first of all, no one ever recommends to do research for posters to find shirt ideas. But thinking about it, there's quite a few bestsellers now on Amazon t-shirts that are poster designs, literally.
Yeah.
Like they're just a square, not square, but like a rectangle box, nothing background removed. It would look exactly the same as a poster. It's just filling out the print
works.
area. Yeah, people
It
like
works.
it. Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Pinterest, Pinterest is you don't care what it's on. You're just going to use it to inspire yourself for a t-shirt. It could be a poster, it could be a magnet, right? Pinterest is whatever it is. How does it translate into a t-shirt? So you can cross niche t-shirts and posters pretty well for some things, right? And then the thing about posters, well, they're way easier to design, right? There's way less rules, way less rules. You could be way more chaotic on a poster design than you can on a t-shirt design, right? And then you don't have to worry about transparency either. So if you're coming from the t-shirt world, the poster world is the easiest thing you're ever going to experience. So easy. You could check BSRs, find the gaps in the market, and then take what's not on Etsy, put on Amazon. What's not on Amazon, you put it on Etsy, whatever. It's just so many things you could do. And to the point where every time you make a t-shirt design, put on a poster, see what happens. You know, you just never know. See, the thing about the regular Amazon, you could get a little crazy. You can flood it. I remember there were people who were using automations where they were taking every word in the dictionary and making a mock-up on a white coffee mug. All right. Now this worked. This is why Amazon today is getting rid of 75 billion, 25 billion listings, because these people would, you know, do these things where, yeah, you got an automation tool and it's just uploading a coffee mug with every word in the dictionary. And now when someone searches for something, your coffee mug might come up. And there's people that made good money doing that. These are these little Amazon tricks. And this is where, and I think it worked for a while, but what happens when techniques like that become known by more people, that's where it goes bad, right? Because then everyone starts doing it. And you're like, even when I made the low price, I'm like, yo, if everyone starts pricing low, buy strategy. You know, it relies on high prices. A low price strategy doesn't exist without the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the top. So if everyone's like, oh, I like your strategy, low price, I'm like, damn.
No one's going to be
Shut
patient.
up.
No one's going to be patient enough. I remember you
Exactly.
saying you sometimes waited until you get 100 reviews before
That
you
was
made
my
any
go-to
money.
number. Yeah, that was my go-to number. Besides holidays, let me be clear about that. Holidays, you're going up, right?
Of
Or
course.
if it's a new T-shirt, if I did a recent upload, then I'm gonna keep it down during the holidays because I'm just go ahead and collect that BSR. collect those sales, right, to get the t-shirt started. So there has been times where I've done that, but for the most part, yeah, in holidays I'll always put that price up. But I did like my reviews to get to 100 before putting up a price. That was something I did with a few shirts, and once again, but shirts that I didn't think I should put the price up because other people had the same ones, right? So to be clear, I did that more on some other people definitely have this design. So it makes more sense. It's to compete. In order to compete, I need that BSR to stay low for a long time. And once I put the price up, I can compete with anyone. And so it's all about, when I know I have a t-shirt that needs to compete directly, that's when I really did that, right? I probably wouldn't go that hard if I have an original design that other people don't have. That's where the change is, right? That's why it's important to say these details. But the cool thing about that strategy is that, everyone will say, why would you upload something everyone has? Well, if you have, and this is why, a lot of people gave advice that I was doing the opposite of and making money. And then I would, for years, I saw people give advice. Don't do this, don't do that. And I'm like, I'm making money doing that, right? And I would upload anything. If it's something people wanted, I'm going to upload it and put it at 1338. And they're going to buy it. And it doesn't matter who else has it. I don't care. Like I said in the video, I just want sales, right? I want it to tear up. And now I will do the same concept just to keep my account health good. I don't know what metrics Amazon is using, but I still have t-shirts that are public domain. I'm just go ahead and let that make sales because Amazon wants an account that has high sales for the amount of products you have. Now I'm going to go ahead and fulfill that thing, right? Maybe I'm different. I want Amazon to know I got you. I'm going to sell for you. That's a part of my mentality when it comes to my account health. Amazon, you're going to know that in me, you got a seller.
Did you ever have trouble? Because I can imagine the comment already. Did you ever have trouble when you uploaded something that other people also uploaded that you got reported because it looks like copyright infringement? I know you might have got it from an image pack or Creative Fabrica, but couldn't people still technically report you? Did it happen?
Yeah, it happened, and I just move on. Yeah, anything when it comes to anything like that, when it comes to anything I can't control, my immediate response is move on. There is zero benefit in caring about something you can't control. Zero. So I will never waste my energy on that. And that energy that you're wasting on these things you can't change, you could have been uploading your next bestseller. That's how I look at it. The energy that I have, I'm going to use for creativity, for my listings, for my decisions on how I'm going to make money. If I'm not thinking about how I'm going to make money, don't even talk to me about it. Everybody like, hey, did your stuff get locked? I don't know. I don't know how to check if something gets locked. Why do I need to care about that? Oh, you make it. I can't change it.
I don't know.
Maybe it's better to focus on what I can do to make money. Like, it's interesting. If you're making less money, shouldn't use your energy to make more? Just saying. Oh, I'm making less money now. All right, well, shut up and upload.
Complaining isn't going to make you much money.
At all. I mean, some people in this world have figured out how to monetize complaining, right? With certain...
Yeah.
But I can't, right? If I go on Facebook and complain, I don't think anyone's going to pay me for it.
No, it depends how you do it. Facebook or a POD community is probably not the right way. I love talking to you. You're so funny because you say the opposite of what a lot of people would say. Your strategy is the opposite of what a lot of people say, and you're super successful. So it's awesome to learn from you. One thing we haven't talked about yet, though, which I also want to touch on because I know you had a big video about it, is how important do you think is your listing and the keywords, and how do you do it personally?
So the way that I've always done it was to try to show up for, because I always pay real close attention to Amazon, and I look at all these keywords that people don't really rank for or think to rank for. And I do feel, I can never prove it, but I do feel like I've gotten sales off of those. And here's one example. A lot of people don't know that in the search results, in the search bar, people will say t-shirt to wear with biker shorts. Right? And if you type that in, t-shirt to wear with biker shorts, you're going to find a lot of t-shirts that are FBA, right? Then you're going to find one or two Amazon merch shirts. And when you look at the listing and the bullet points, they're going to say biker shorts. I've checked this, right? Like, this goes well with biker shorts. Now, I'm not saying to go put this t-shirt goes well with biker shorts on every listing. But there's a lucky guy on merch who did it, and he's ranking for that. So every time someone puts, I want a t-shirt to wear with biker shorts, they might be buying that person's listing because he decided, right? Then these little things, you can't tell me it can't work if I'm seeing the search results. And I'm seeing that Amazon put that on the top of auto suggest, meaning people are using it. I don't know how many people, but people are using it. So for my keyword thing, I always say I want to get everywhere I can be seen. I don't do ads. Visibility is key. So I'm going to look for everything that's on that auto suggest and just flood it on my keywords. I don't even care if the listing looks good. I should have said that. I'm sorry. The listing needs to look perfect, right? Whatever. But now with AI, so what I do is I get the keywords that I know that I want and I just check them on the auto suggest. That's it. That's my rule. If it's not on that auto suggest, I could care less about that word. Right now, not for every instance. This is 95% of the time that's true. 5% of the time there's other things involved. But for the most part, I want to, and what I notice is that Amazon will make long tail keywords for you. Okay, if you search certain long tail keywords, they will take one word from the brand, a word from the title, a word from the bullet points, and a lot of people don't know this. They even take words from the reviews. I can prove that. That your reviews show up in your search results. So if someone says, wow, I gave this shirt to someone on their birthday and they loved it, then they do a search for something with the word birthday, you might pop up for that search.
Just even because if birthday is not on your listing.
Exactly. Yes, you can rank for words through your seat. People don't even know that. Your reviews rank in your listing, 100%. All right. Description can also rank your listing, 100%. Right. I'm not saying you need to worry about that because the title is the most important part. Right. So what happens is when Amazon starts losing, they like, okay, we don't have anyone else with this keyword in the title. Now we're going to go start searching in the bullet points. That's page 2, right? Oh, we got everyone that did it in the bullet points. We ran out. No one has it. Let's start looking in the description. So anything can rank. Now, it doesn't mean it's a powerful place to rank, right? It doesn't mean if you ignore your description, it's probably never going to hurt you. But just understanding that to me is key so that when I do my keywords, I know if I run out of space in the bullet points, I'm going to keep going in the description. And I have done that before. I have had so many keywords on that auto suggest that describe my design that I've ran out of space. And not for nothing, they tend to sell. Just saying, right? Like you can look at it, my car t-shirt that sold a lot, I had helium 10 at the time. And it's still to this day, it's keyword spam. T-shirt cars for men car t-shirt, t-shirt shirt for men for women, t-shirt car mechanic shirt. That's what my listing says. All through it. This was back when I first started. Don't do it, right? That's horrible, makes you a bad person if you do that. But it works. I'm just saying, it worked.
Hang on. So just to clarify, that's when you started. Do you still do that now? Because Amazon obviously says like, don't include T-shirts, don't include gifts.
Yeah, no, I don't do that now. Back then, I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm not saying it's a smart idea, but I did it and it worked because Amazon, they want to tell you, don't do this, don't do that, and you shouldn't. You got to listen to Amazon. But they can't change the algorithm for that rule. There's only one way an algorithm can work. It has to know the keywords are in this, and you put it on, they're looking for it, they match them, right? Now they got AI things as well, right? Because I know that AI can look at a picture and make you rank for a word that's not in your listing, right? I proved that the other day with the tennis racket thing. There was a tennis racket, and if you put tennis racket, the word racket was nowhere in the listing, but there was an image of a tennis racket right up at the top of the results. Right. So Amazon's doing this thing too. But yeah, so the best thing now that I do with listings, because I got AI vision with Flying Upload, that changed my life. Right. And it was because of you, by the way, that I use Flying Upload. So now with AI, you can give it. So remember, I have the keywords that I want my listing to have. I don't care how I personally am not too concerned with it making sense. I've never said, oh, this listing makes so much sense and the sales went up. I haven't had that experience. I've had the experience that you put the keywords in the title that you need, and that's how you sell. So that's been my experience. So that's what I'm going to do. But now with AI, the beautiful thing is that you can give it the keywords. So now AI can make it pretty. And now my listings look better than ever. But you're going to have this word, this word, this word, this word, and this word. That's all I care about. Make sure the brand and title have these words in it. And then now you could upload the same type of thing, and every listing looks unique. But they all have, if you really look, they all have these 5 keywords that I want.
Just to recap there, because I've only used that feature a few times. I think what you're saying is you can say or suggest to the Flying Uploads AI, you can suggest these keywords have to be in every title of all of these listings, but the rest fill in yourself with AI.
Yeah, make it into a sentence. Here's the keywords I want to use. And I mean, you don't even have to say that. You just say use these keywords, and it just automatically makes a sentence out of it, right? What AI is not going to do is car, shirt, box, mechanic, hello. They're not going to do that. AI can only make sentences, right? Otherwise, it thinks it's doing something wrong. So when you tell AI use these keywords, you can even do it in ChatGPT, right? You get one of those GPT listers that already tell you how to make a merch listing and say, hey, I want you to use this listing, but tell it to put the words in bold because ChatGPT will forget the words, right? So it won't use everything. So if you got 10 keywords, you're like, make me a listing, put as many of these keywords in the title and brand as you can, whatever you can't fit, you put into the bullet points. And then it'll do it is they put every word you use in bold. And then when you put it in bold, then if you don't want to count yourself, it's like, now count and make sure you used every word. And say, oh, apparently I forgot these two. Now it got some. So you got to push it a little bit, but if you just do that, it'll get you where you want to go.
I think that's important to note because when I see people that want to use AI to create the listings, I think what a lot of people do is they either just upload the design or they say, I need a listing for fishing, and then they take what the AI gives them. It's
that I don't think is the best practice because you could get a keyword or two in there, but you have this, like once again, that reminds me of when people are using ideogram to copy. It's like you got this powerful thing and you're doing it in a way that's not powerful, right? So you got this powerful ChatGPT and you're making it do easy things, right? It's like, I don't know, imagine you get, I don't have a good example.
I've got an analogy. Imagine you buy a sports car, you just drive it in first gear.
There you go. Exactly. Right. Yeah. You never go fast. Why do you got a sports car then? Right. Go buy something slow. And that's what people are doing with ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT, make me a listing. Work a little. Remember how hard you had to work to make a listing yourself? So don't get so lazy now. Yeah. Right? You used to work a lot, really hard to make listings. Let's get some effort in this, right? So let's still look for your keywords. What did you used to do to make listings? Whatever it was everyone did, don't change it completely because you got ChatGPT. Find out how you chose what keywords you wanted and have ChatGPT help your process. Not do it for you without instruction. ChatGPT has this habit of wanting to please you even when it doesn't do what it needs to do to please you. It will make it sound like, hey, I did what you wanted. I made half this stuff up. There's no keywords in it, but here's your listing, right? And people are like, oh, wow, I got a listing. No, you decide the keywords. Focus on, make sure your keywords are active, make sure they work, and then have AI use them and make the listing with those keywords in a nice way. You're working together. Working with AI is always going to be better than having AI work for you.
Yeah. Totally
work
agree.
Together, like you had another person. Think of AI as an individual who's very intelligent, who you have on your team now. You know what I'm saying? No matter, even the smartest person, I don't know if you ever spoke to geniuses. I have. There's a genius can have dumb moments. They don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? You only know what you know. So ChatGPT doesn't know what you want. It acts like it knows what you want. But if you just tell it exactly what you want, it doesn't have to guess anymore. That's where the good stuff comes. So too many people
makes mistakes. It makes mistakes, like you said. It'll forget words
and have it check itself, right? Hey, ChatGPT, like if I make a GPT, I'm like, okay, you're gonna make a listing. I haven't made one. I think about I should make one. So I'm gonna make a GPT for myself, and it's gonna say every time you make a listing, use the keywords provided. Then you're gonna check that listing a second time, right? You just give it the whole format. So now you just got to press a button, and you know it's gonna come out right because it's gonna check itself 2-3 times, and it's gonna do it all off one prompt. So once you're done with that, then you're gonna check yourself a third time and make sure you got all the keywords. At that point, it can't fail, right? Because now you're making it check itself. So you're learning from the mistake of the mistakes it makes with you, and you're fixing those mistakes. That's the thing about ChatGPT is you can make it do what you want. When people are like, oh, it's just acting stupid. Well, you can stop for a second, back up, switch up the whole prompting that you're doing, start fresh, and get it to do what you want it to do. It does have times where it gets in a loop of not doing anything right.
Yeah.
When that happens, close the conversation, start
new chat. New chat.
Because you know that always happens.
I know what you mean though. It's like if you do a bit of heavy lifting up front, you can still be lazy or lazier.
Exactly.
But don't just start. Yeah. But that goes for anything. Like with a lot of the things that I do, I'm lazy. Like there's a reason why I use upload automation. It's because I don't want to do it all myself anymore. Like sure, the upload automation will make some mistakes, but I've taken a lot of time to set up the templates and the settings so that it's as good as it can be without my input. And I will monitor it occasionally and make changes if I need to make sure I can still be lazy whilst being effective with the uploads.
Well, you just described my whole approach to POD. Right? When I do templates, I will spend time on that template. I will spend 2 hours on that template and I'll never spend 2 hours again. Now I'm only going to spend 2 minutes to make designs, right? So you do that hard work. Same thing with passive income that we were talking about. It can be passive if you do the hard work, right? Then it could be semi-passive. So you got to think of every aspect the same way. Do the hard work once. When I do niches, I looked at all those keywords for their auto suggest, and now I have them saved. I'm not going to do that twice. But that hard work is paying me for the rest of my career. I don't ever need to check horse keywords again, unless there's a new trend that I need to add a keyword. Then that's just one word. Oh, let me add this new keyword I found out about. Let me put that right there in my horse niche keyword collection. I'm never.
Where do you save that? Where do you save all these keywords?
Spreadsheets, documents, online stuff.
I hate spreadsheets. What are you saying?
Yeah, I hate them, but sometimes we have to use them. And that's why I hate them, because there's no other way right now. But now with ChatGPT, I'm probably going to move everything over to just ChatGPT conversation. I think that's the next. It's like, ChatGPT, I'm going to treat it like folders. Okay, this conversation. So I could have a conversation for each niche, and now you could search through your conversations. So I give me my horse keywords. Because I'm sure ChatGPT is going to get better to the point where you can go and speak through all your conversations. So I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm doing a listing. It's a horse. Go get my horse keywords and put them in there. Now I don't even have to give the keywords. It's just going to find them from one of the conversations.
It already kind of does this sometimes, at least for me, not in the right way, but sometimes when I start a conversation with the GPT and I'm like, I click the button and it's supposed to let me upload an image. And it just, it doesn't even let me upload. It just gives me results straight away because of something I said in the past.
Yep.
So it tracks back to what you've said before.
Well, yeah,
not always
it's all mixed now. All conversations. It used to be conversations were separated. Now it's just you. That's why I don't let anyone use my ChatGPT, because if it's gonna know everything about me, I'd rather it be me, and it's helpful. People get scared of that. But when people get scared of that, I got to remind you that your phone is a little spy you take everywhere with you.
Yeah.
Okay, there's nothing worse than that, right? So when people are like, oh, it's going to know, they know whoever they are and everything they want to know about you, they already know it. I promise you. Yeah. So whoever you're hiding from, they got you already. So use your ChatGPT to the advantage. It's just going to be another use. And it's listening. And you know how I know it's listening? I asked it if it was listening. It said no. It's listening because, I talk a certain way. And I'll never forget, I don't type the way I talk at all when I talk to ChatGPT. I type like a proper English speaking person. And ChatGPT started replying with, yo, say no more, bro. I'm like, what? I asked a question and said, say less, I got you, bet. I'm like, whoa, why are you talking like that? I asked him, why are you talking like that? And it says, oh, I'm like, are you listening? It says, no. I'm like, you're talking the way I talk, but I don't type that way. It's like, oh, sometimes we accidentally don't realize that we type. I said, no, I've been texting and typing for years. I don't type like that. That's how I talk. It's not how I type. I got you, ChatGPT. I caught you. And it says, sorry, sometimes we can be misunderstood. I'm like, wow, the way it's defending itself, it did not want to agree with me. But there's no way in the world.
Did it look guilty?
It sounded guilty to me. And come on, man. Like, at the end of the day, like, you ever seen an Uber TV show about Uber called Super Pumped? No. Right? The dude who started, great TV show if you've never seen it. It's the dude from Uber. He was doing illegal things with the app. And he tried to trick Apple. You know how you got to put stuff in the Apple store? Apple said, you better not do nothing funny. And he got a team together to do these illegal spying things on Uber apps. Right? Because it helps the company with information and data and things that can make them bigger. If you don't think that's what they're doing every step of the way, every time illegally, but they're doing it. If you don't think Amazon Alexa is listening to your whole conversation now, if you have one, of course. Right? There was a news stories where people had to call the cops because they heard stuff through Alexa that someone was, domestic abusing somebody. And the Amazon employees called the cops because they were listening. Okay? If you think that thing gets better, no, it gets worse. So if you don't think that Sam Altman over at OpenAI or Elon Musk, I don't care how cool you think these guys are, they got a job to do and they want to get data. And if that means they're going to spy on everything we do and say that, that ship has sailed.
Yeah, you can't escape it. I agree with that. And it's another one of those, like, if you can't control it, don't waste all your energy.
Like, look, they know my darkest secrets, and it's just part of life. Like, okay, you know my search.
To be honest, they probably don't care either. They just
that's
care about
the other
profit.
part, right? So the thing that they're not spying on us because they want to extort you. They're spying on us because they want to make money through our data. right? They want money, power, and control, and that's what our data is. They don't care who Jose Quiles is. They don't care who Philip Anders is, but they care that there's this guy in the UK. He's a YouTuber. That's what they're doing, right? They're getting the data of what you are, not necessarily your name, right? They don't care about your name. They don't care about your face. They care about your habits and how they can monetize. So the ship sailed, is what it is. ChatGPT. Hi. You're never alone.
Talk to me about your experience in the Merch Mastermind. I think you've been in there for like 4 weeks now. You've been very active as well. I don't know, maybe a bit longer.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've had experiences like, since day one, I've always liked being in groups. When I started, I got lucky enough to get in one group. There was about 10 people in it. And it was definitely an eye-opener at that time. It really helped me catapult to where I am and where I was going at the time. Having people, sometimes knowing where other people are, where you stand, little things they don't even realize can change your life. This one guy who started the group one day told us about Google Trends, right? And this is back before anyone knew it. And just he made a statement. He didn't make a course about it. He wasn't teaching us. He said, have you tried Google Trends? No, I haven't tried it. Let me see what he's talking about. So when I had that Cocaine Santa story, that was Google Trends thing. That one thing that guy said that one time changed the course of my life.
How much money did it make you, just for the people that didn't see that video?
$25,000. Yeah, $25,000. And so that one comment that one guy in a group changed my life. Think about that. In passing, you never know what someone's gonna say. That little thing you don't know, it can be a huge impact. If you're gonna have a career in POD, you need a safe space where you can actually talk to people. And when I've tried doing this in public groups, I remember, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I tried helping some people in a group one time and it didn't go well. The people who I was helping wanted it, but other people did not. Other people were bringing negative energy. So I remember feeling horrible at the fact that I couldn't help these people, right? They were asking for help and I wasn't allowed to help them. Just simple questions, how to do research, things like that. I ended up getting a whole bunch of messages saying, thanks for the help. Sorry that, you got ran out of the group, things like that. And I always felt like the power of a group where people can ask what they want to ask, where you can get the information you need. It may not seem like a big deal, but these big groups it just doesn't work ever, in my opinion. I don't think I've ever gotten value out of a public group.
Do you think it works inside our group? Like, how's that felt for you?
It works. So when you go in a group like Merch Mastermind, first of all, you're in a safe place, right? No one's going to call you stupid or a moron or say, why do you want to do that? People can disagree in a nice way. You see it in Merch Mastermind. Hey, yo, that's cool, but how about this? Try this. And we say it in a friendly way, right? No one's saying, yo, what are you, a moron uploading that design? That's stupid. Like, why do people talk like that? Right? I think people need to, if we could just respect each other, we could disagree respectfully. And when you have public groups, it's just this chaotic mentality. And it can literally be 5 people that destroy a group with 10,000 people in it. 5 people is all it takes.
It's really hard to control. And the bigger it gets, the tougher it is to police. And
big time. So when I had that experience in public, I naturally like to talk about print on demand. I naturally like to give away my secrets. When I use the word secret, I use it so jokingly. Like, here's my secret. I'm just going to tell you something. And I can't do that in these public groups because of, what I told you. So in Merch Mastermind, the minute, someone asks a question about something, I'm going to make a video about that. And I know I'm in a safe place and I can share. And no one's going to be like, well, why'd you do that? That was dumb. It's just so off-putting. And Merch Mastermind is the first group I've been in since my first group. That one time I had like 10 people, it was done on Slack. And so now that I'm in a group again, I already feel the creativity. There's times where I work just because someone said something on Merch Mastermind. Now I'm going down a rabbit hole on ChatGPT, making images. Just because someone showed, hey, I made a sale in this niche. Oh, I thought that niche was garbage. You're selling it? Yeah, everybody come on. And I remember that, like, back when I did Cocaine Santa, whoever didn't watch the video, when I went to my group, I said, everyone stop what you're doing and go upload. And everyone made money. Right? That's what a group can do. So when a guy, in Merch Mastermind, just recently, check out this thing. Oh, you're making money. People share, right? Because it becomes what do you call it? It is infectious when people share, like, oh, I want to share something. So now this person's sharing his wins and he's sharing the niche that he got into. You're not going to do that in a public group. I don't want 40,000 people competing with me.
Yeah.
But in a group with just 100 people, and not everyone's gonna do it, right? Everyone's not on at the same time, so it's like even though it's 100 people, it still feels smaller than that, right? Because it's like no one. And I check, right? I'll say something. Let's see how many people actually did it, and there'll only be a few, right? Everyone's not doing everything all the time. So if you share something in a group like Merch Mastermind, there's a couple people that are gonna gain a lot out of that, and other people are gonna be like, nah, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, right? But that power of having people say these little things, like I told you, you never know that one thing that can change. Just a simple comment. They don't even know they're giving you gold. They have no clue that thing they said taught you something. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm the kind of person that, if you're not growing, you're dying. So I need growth, right? I scale, that's kind of a metaphor for that. I scale POD. It's like I need to grow every year. And that's what a group like that does for me. That's the growth that I need, because the more interaction you do, the smarter you become, the better you become, the faster. Yo, this person did this one thing. And in the group, and so far it's beautiful. Like everybody, different walks of life, right? I bet you there's things we could disagree on if we really brought up some subjects, but no one does that because we're here for a common goal, to make sales. So we're not going to have conversations that aren't productive for anyone. Right? You're not having arguments about what happened on the news yesterday. No one gives a damn. Now, if it's selling a shirt, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what the focus needs to be. When every conversation in some way, shape, or form results in a sale, indirectly or directly. Right? Oh, here's this new tool. Now that I know about that tool, that can help me do things faster, more possibility of a sale. Right? And we share tools in there that no one else has. That's a little advantage. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but there's things in the group that nobody else has, things that people are using to make sales that nobody else has, because we're not going to share them to the public, right? So I guess you could say little secrets in there, and that's a beautiful thing to be a part of. Like, I want to be a part of a winning team, a team who has a winning mentality, and that's the energy I need daily. I might be having a bad day. I'm going to open up Merch Mastermind and read. Someone's going to inspire me to start working. Check out that niche. Check out this new prompt that no one knows about, and it's starting to gain, traction on these designs. And people share, and you could, and I like when people don't fear showing their designs. Like, you don't want to show your designs to a million people, but in the groups, I'm like, yo, what do you think about this design? And now you got 10 people helping you make it better.
And I think this is one of the downsides of being a print-on-demand YouTuber, or like you said, being in the bigger free groups, is people are rarely going to show the niches that are working well for them, or that they've just started selling in, because it would be stupid. You're cutting into your own flesh. If I share my best niches on YouTube, how many people are going to copy them? Same in a free group. You will see people sharing their wins, which is inspiring, but none of those people, or barely any, are going to say, this is the shirt that sold. In this smaller space, we have wins almost every single day being shared of people saying, hey, I uploaded this shirt 2 days ago to a niche that Adam recommended, and it's selling. They share the design, or they share the niche, they share some information to not just inspire, but show you this is what's working, do it as well, because there isn't 1,000 people that will jump on it. Like you said, not everyone actually acts. And because now we're at a stage where there's so much information being shared and so many niches that are working, people can't do everything. Like there's so much good stuff that's working. Not every member is going to do it or be able to do it. So there is no harm in sharing it anymore, in a sense.
Yeah, we live in a place where copying is less necessary for very, I guess, desperate. There's a desperation thing when people copy. So I think that part is gone. And now when people are comfortable, and I think that the comfortable environment of showing your designs, I think it's the missing element. I can't tell you how many times people are like, yo, I do all my keywords right. I do everything, the videos, I follow all the advice. And I'm like, okay, let me see your design. And you're like, oh, there's your problem right there. Right. So a lot of the times when people can't figure something out, you need to show that design to somebody. You got to show everything. If you're going to get help, you can't say, I did the keywords right. I can't help you with that. Keywords aren't that hard. Hey, I did this strategy. Let me see the design. And if you can't do that in a public group, what help are you really getting? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not real help. People talk at you in a public group. Yeah, do this. They don't really care, right? They just want to talk. shoot the five and just have conversations. But when you're showing someone the design, I can't tell you how many people message me. I'm like, cool, let's talk. Oh, it's fun to talk. When you're geeks like us, let me see your design. We just love to talk about it. Okay, here's the problem. And especially and when people, the coolest part is that people actually listen and be like, okay, I did this. Hey, this worked. That's the fun part. It's like we're one organism. You got the keyword idea from me. You got the design idea from Philip. You uploaded it, and now it's selling. It's a coalition, right? You got an army working for you. You can literally tell. I mean, people would enjoy if you just said, okay, what do you think about this? People chime in. It's fun to have conversations. We're all nerds. So you can use that to your advantage and make sales off just people who like me and you who love to talk about POD. Show me your designs. Let's show how to, like I've given people, here, use this one. You know, why not? I got so many designs, I'll give you one. You having trouble in that niche here? Boom. You want to sell in the Puerto Rico niche here? Take this design. Don't tell nobody I gave it to you.
Yeah.
There you go. Why not?
This is another idea, actually, of something we could do, or we have brainstormed about before, is like reach out to people and then design something for them. They design something for you. So you almost like design swapping for a niche.
Things you would never think of, right? I don't design the way you design, so let me see if one of your designs will help me.
Yeah.
And one of my designs could help you. Yeah, we could do a swap.
Or we did that thing a couple of weeks ago. Juna was on. I don't know if you saw that, but people submitted their designs to Juna, and he redesigned them.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And he gave them the actual files after as well to sell on Amazon, which was super fun. And
he put that Juna touch on them.
Literally Junified, and it shows again people are happy to share their designs. I'm sure some of those people, they were maybe struggling to sell those designs and wanted them improved. And sometimes you look at them and you're like, it looks okay. Maybe some things that could be improved. But then someone like Juna goes through it, explains it, does research, and gives you the new improved version. You're like, wow, that's how you're supposed to do it. And then you know how to do it in future when you start.
Yeah, the knowledge behind it. You know, when it comes to learning, the why matters so much. Why did Juna do that? Why did he decide this instead of that? And then you're like, oh, okay. And then you see the simplicity of his designs. I've copied his style. Like you wouldn't believe. I copied Juna's probably the most copied style because the simplicity does so well on merch, right? The 6 foot rule thing, nice big bold letters, straight and to the point. You know, so when he's in there helping people, I'm like, this is a beautiful thing, you know. And I think that, like, you're right. We should do that even other people trying it. Hey, someone who maybe I'm learning how to be better at designs. Hey, let me design, you know, for 5 people today. You know what I mean? And stuff like that I think will be real cool because you don't even have to be the best at it to be the one to do it. Let me try to design something for you. Or, hey, you having trouble with keywords? Let me do a listing for you. I already actually did that. One guy hit me up. Oh, no, my bad. That was on the email, but that's not a bad idea. If someone's having troubles, I'll do the listing for you one good time and then show you the reason that I'm making these decisions. You know what I'm saying? And then people learn that way. And I mean, when you get a bunch of people together, I think it's so much power in that. Like it goes back to what I was saying. If you get these emails from all these people, there's power in numbers. There's strength in numbers. And what happens, you can get a mentor, one of them, or you could get 100 of them in a group. Right. And let's say on average, maybe 20 people are in one conversation or something like that. That's 20 mentors for one person. You got a problem, 20 people want to solve your problem. And one of them is going to have the best idea. Right. Like it's just crazy. The creativity that I've seen that to me was easily like, whoa, I would have never thought of that. And that to me is the goal. Like one of the keys to success is that creativity, especially today with AI abilities. If you could get creative, you're going to win. And I wish I knew everyone's name, but like there's like 3 super, super amazing creative minds in there that I really like, whoa, how do they think of this stuff?
Are you thinking of the design contests when they share their designs?
Yeah. Ideas that they have, I'm like, that's the inspiration that I need. Because sometimes I can get lazy. It happens to anyone. It's like I have all the, like I talk a certain way. It don't mean I am that 100% of the time. I can be very lazy sometimes. And when you see that, it kills that laziness. It's like the lazy killer. Oh, because he sparked that idea. Right? I mean, I don't feel like doing anything today. I'm burnt out. My brain. Oh, that's a cool design. Whoa, let me go make one. That right there, it's infectious, period. And so that's how, you know, that's been the coolest part. I can't believe you said it's only been 3 weeks. I feel like I've been in there for a year.
I could be wrong, but
But it
yeah, I
feels
think
like, but that's a good thing. It feels like it's been a
it
while.
is. Yeah, and I think you're right. Like having that many people that are really positive together, sharing openly and being creative, it really helps out with one of the big pain points. Because like we said, what sets you apart besides pricing low is having creative, unique ideas, original stuff that hasn't been done before. That's one, in my opinion, one of the biggest pain points of most POD sellers. You can learn how to create a design, remove a background, all that stuff. It's like a step-by-step process. Being creative is a challenge for most people.
Even for creative people. There's
Even
fatigue.
even for me,
Right?
like I don't find it easy at all. But yeah, I think we've managed to so far. We've managed to encourage that very well. Very very proud, and I'm very excited to see people's like design submissions as well. And it sparks a lot of ideas that you wouldn't have. You just can't have it on your own. That many people together.
Exactly. And I think the more things you start putting together, because I know you got a lot of ideas for the future. I think when we do, more things that people can't wait to be a part of, you know what I mean? Like little things where everyone gets together on an idea. I think people really, really are going to love that, and the stuff that's going to come in the future. It's going to be, I think where it's going to go, because it's going so well, it can only get better, right? Because people are getting more comfortable, sharing more things. I think, everybody, when you first go in, you're like, okay, well, what kind of place is this?
Yeah.
Right? People take a second to get comfortable.
A bit reserved. Yeah. To warm up to people, get to know them, connect. Yeah.
So the more people get into that zone, that's when it really gets better. Like I'm seeing more and more names posting things. I'm like, oh, cool. This is growing. You know what I mean? This is more input on things. And yeah, it's awesome. It's fun. And I have 6 screens. So I keep one screen open.
6.
Yeah. I got, well, yeah. I think in a
thought
video,
3
I'll show
screens
my
is a lot.
No, I got 6 screens. I got another computer here. I got a computer on my treadmill. I got an AI computer that works all day, taking off backgrounds and upscaling. I built my own upscaler background mover. Then I have another one that does flying upload all day.
Yeah.
Right. I have a cheap computer just for flying upload. It was like $200, and that's the only thing that computer does.
Don't forget the laptop for ChatGPT when you're watching Netflix.
Yeah, I have that too. In the bedroom, I have it's called the Microsoft Surface that you can draw on. That's my bedroom computer. Jesus. It's a little one. It has
Everything's computer.
I got problems. I got serious issues. I got 7 computers.
You're a POD nerd. You're
big time.
Been diagnosed officially.
The biggest. Undiagnosed, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, good
That was the
inside joke
geekiest
there.
thing I could say right there. Geekiest print on demand.
Perfect way
We're
to
gonna have
end the-
conversations just out of t-shirts and slogans. Imagine.
That's a whole YouTube channel idea there.
There you go.
But that's a perfect way to end on. I think we've been going over 2 hours, which is by far the longest podcast.
crazy.
I
We
knew
could
this.
do
I knew this
full-
would happen.
We got to
could
do
go-
some of these for the group, man. We got to do, because I could do more of these. We should have more of these
Yeah.
conversations also inside the group, because I don't want everyone to go crazy on your YouTube. We'll just do it inside the group and get more people involved, because I could do this all day. This is fun. Talking POD, like I'm the biggest POD geek, so having that group is what I needed, and having these conversations are very good for me. So it's any time, man, I'm available.
And to anyone who still doesn't know, Jose's got a YouTube channel. It will be linked down below. Is there anywhere else where you share info besides your YouTube channel?
Not yet. I'm gonna work on that, but for now, just
But your email?
YouTube.
Your email, right?
POD Hard Knocks. My channel was almost going to be called Hard Knocks POD. That was
Okay.
almost the name of my channel, so that's why my email was podhardknocks@gmail.com.
Okay. So if they sign up to your newsletter, that's where you'll also share stuff from that email. you
Well,
mean?
the newsletter is just free stuff. If you want to email me directly, that's that email.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, no, the email list is something completely different. That's just for freebies. I'm never gonna use that to do anything other than give you stuff. I just didn't know any other way, right? To give away stuff. I'm like, I guess I gotta do an email list. So that's what that's about, really.
Well, massive thanks for coming on this podcast. Awesome conversation. So many golden nuggets. Like it's hard to count. You're a breath of You're a breath of fresh air, I think, for the print on demand community. The new perspectives you're sharing, the tools you're developing as well. which I'm making videos about at the moment. The things you're sharing inside of the Merch Mastermind is mind blowing. So the value you're sharing on all platforms is insane. A huge thank you to you, and
Thank you.
I can't wait for the future together on Amazon and on YouTube in the Merch Mastermind.
Awesome, man. I just want to say last thing to anybody out there who's passionate about POD. Let's think bigger. If we're going to complain about things all the time, let's think about solving problems too. I think that's one of the big things that I want to bring to the space. I'm not saying I know anything, but I have passion, and I want to see how we can get together as passionate people and start solving problems for ourselves instead of waiting for Amazon to raise our royalties, instead of waiting for Etsy to stop shutting stuff down. Let's get together, start having those conversations, because I truly believe that a conversation can change into, a $60 billion industry, right? So start thinking about solutions, start thinking about connecting with others, start thinking about being less combative and more inclusive, and let's get together as content creators and create opportunities for ourselves. I hope people can get in that zone, because I'm going to keep pushing that. So
Love that message. We'll see you later.
all right.
Thanks, Jose.
No problem. See you.